Hi, everybody. Welcome to Ruins of Eatios, Ebb and Flow. It is a game set in the homebrew world of Eatios, where a once dying desert, which is a once dying desert continent. But about 600 to 700 years ago, the land was bombarded with odd planar shifts, depositing vast cities and areas onto the material plane. Now, the world still experiences planar anomalies as planes touch down onto the material, bringing about with them or uncovering mysterious ruins. So, before we start, I want to say happy birthday, Jordan! We have a birthday girl on stream.
Thank you.
Yes, happy birthday. So, y'all ready to begin?
Yeah.
Cool, cool, cool.
Sure.
All right. So, your group is sitting in the office of Imra Darris. Um, she is the head of the arcane history department at the university. She is an elf. She has dark, dark hair pulled back into a bun, which is actually very much frayed and like falling apart. And she's poring over notes in her office. Um, Antonia, Nanette, and Tylon, you know Miss Imra. Uh, this descent into unkemptness has been occurring over the past several weeks. Everything has gotten in even worse of a mess than usual. There are papers everywhere, but they're not organized. Books are everywhere. It is very much like a college professor's office, but worse. And she does not look like she has been trancing. Nasi, this definitely, from the last time you saw her, it's like night and day. Last time she was very organized, cluttered, but organized. And now it's just like, what has been happening? So she's ruffling through some papers, and after a couple minutes, she finally seems to find what she's looking for and pulls it up to her, and she's just like, okay, sorry for my disorganization, but thank you so much for going on this expedition, everybody. I know I haven't been able to tell you much, and I still am not able to tell you much, but about a week ago, the plane of water deposited something to the southeast, and we need a group to go look at it. So thank you so much for going on this. Now is the time for you to ask any questions. And she looks at all of you.
Well, this is just so exciting. I've never done anything like this before. That's my first. I'm so grateful that you trusted me with this. um, and the creature that is speaking currently is a very tall bird-like creature with white plumage. Um, her she has these very long feathers that, down her head that were at one point slicked back, but as soon as she starts talking, they sort of perk up, almost like a halo or a crown. But it instead of making her look like super dignified, she kind of looks a little derpy. Her legs are take up most of her body, and well, she's wearing these like sort of gray and teal wrappings. She also is carrying a long quarter staff. I don't have any questions. I'm just really grateful that you are entrusting me with this very important task.
Just a quick thing. Can everyone make sure that their captioners are on, please?
Yes. Yes.
Good be.
Okay. And she looks around at everyone else on the room. Would everyone else like to describe themselves and who they are playing today?
Yeah. As Clea is kind of exuberant about this, Nasi leans in and goes, I would not be too excited last time. Just mushrooms. And demon, but mostly mushrooms. And Nasi is a also very tall. I'm actually wondering how tall Clea is at this point, because Nasi is also a rather big fella. He is a lizard folk, and actually to speak of pronouns. Nasi doesn't really subscribe to any. So he, they, she, they, them, any of it works. So I will probably, even as a player, go back and forth because Nasi is a desert druid who considers himself themselves one with the desert, and kind of that is their adoptive parent. So Nasi is a rather large lizard folk with reddish kind of earthish tones to the scales and a bright blue frill that is kind of almost down. It's not fully popped up at this point. And he wears a lot of scavenged materials. He kind of believes that anything he finds in the desert is a gift from the desert itself. So there's a lot of like reclaimed leather and like bones, and they've got like a pair of goggles where one of the eyepieces is broken out. But and anything they find is fair game at that point.
And you said there were demons?
Yes, one, we did not say hello, uh, but we almost did. No one listened when we went into Weird Castle. I said, no weird staircases, don't touch weird doors, and don't make pacts with demons. They broke 2 rules. There was one left.
There shouldn't be any issues with this one. The last expedition Nasi went on was definitely an extreme case. We're still looking into getting that situation under control, which is why I'm so frazzled.
Is understandable. And as Nanette is kind of speaking, she has her eyes on whatever shiny bauble is on the desk nearest to her. And I think her hand is like hovering near it. She kind of wants to push it off. Not that this mess really could be changed by pushing it off, but she's definitely like haphazardly like, yes, I'm paying attention. No, I'm not. And so Nanette is a diminutive tabaxi. She is sleek, black, furred all the way down. Her tail kind of comes out in a tuft of like a ball of fur, and she has bangles of like wooden and ivory kind of wrapped around her tail, and a few bandages. Her hands are kind of bandaged up as some added protection. She's dressed in just common clothing, nothing special. She has 3 spears slung over her back and like a quiver, and they're almost too big to be javelins, a little haphazardly so. And yeah, that's about all I've got for it.
Antonia?
Antonia is a human woman, pretty well kept together. She's got her hair up and tight and neat, and her sword and shield kind of on her back. She's trying to be attentive. She's clearly very excited for this whole procedure, and much like Clea can't believe that she's been selected for such an amazing opportunity. I've just spent so much time here in the library and the university, and to actually get out and go see some of this great wild elemental, I mean, it's all such a surprise, you know?
It's your first adventure too?
Yes. Yes.
Oh my gosh, new adventure buddies.
Yay, friends. Yes, and she's looking around at kind of the gathered group. Doesn't really know anyone too well. Maybe has seen them around, but yes.
You would definitely recognize Nanette and Tylon. Tylon?
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So you see another human, kind of a tall, lanky fellow, sort of a mop of somewhat unkempt, chestnut-colored hair. He's wearing what you may recognize as pretty standard university garb. He looks like he's a student there. Um, he carries a 6-foot long oaken staff. You can see a lot of like arcane carvings, some jewels inlaid up and down. The very top of it, you see 2 long flight feathers from what you would imagine to be some kind of bird of prey affixed to the top of the staff, just kind of hanging down. He looks like he's doing his best to give off the air that he belongs here, despite the fact that this too is his first expedition and he may or may not have pulled some strings to get in on it. So as Antonia's talking and looking all fresh-faced and excited, Tylen's sort of doing his best to keep a cool face, like, yes, of course, right, yes. To Imra, he'll ask, so do we know anything about this new ruin yet? Has there been any sort of preliminary reconnaissance or any information we could go on from prior expeditions to gauge what we may expect inside?
Well, you are the primary expedition. This area only touched down about a week ago, and we gathered as many people up as quickly as we could. Some resources are thin with the we've been calling it the fungi incident. Nasi can tell you more about that later, and the whole issue with the Plain Warp Woods. We've had a lot of wizards going on and dealing with those issues, so you're going to be the first group. What we do know is that it is about 4 to 5 days away to the southeast, and it's just a large body of water, really.
Okay.
She looks at her notes again, and she just seems to check off a couple things. And then she addresses you, Tylon, and you, Nanette. So I know you two are both still students, but like I said, with the short-staffedness and with the Wizards Circuit currently permanently on hold, is the reason why you're going and taking place of some others going on expeditions. Really, all you all need to do is just gather information, see what's there, just if there's any artifacts, bring them back for the storage to be examined, everything like that, and you'll be all set up to have the university's recommendation for any future job prospects, and you'll be able to go back and continue working with us if you desire to.
And by doing this, we, as agreed, the disciplinary action for the book burning, that is true?
Yes, Nanette. This will go towards cleaning your record.
Wonderful.
Why do you need your record cleaned?
It was dirty.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense.
How does a record get dirty? Does it?
It was probably from the ash.
Oh, that makes sense.
Before I forget, and she opens up her desk drawer and pulls out a small little box. It kind of looks like when you have the milk cartons with the bottles in it, and there's 5 potions in there. These are for you. It is assumedly, we're going to assume it's a lake, but these are potions of water breathing for you in case you do need to go underneath. It'll last for 24 hours, so please take them. And she pushes it over to whoever will decide to take them and or distribute.
I'll distribute them. That's awfully kind of you. Thank you.
It's necessary. I know not everyone has the time to copy down every spell that they would need in their spell book, so it's a precaution, more or less.
weird.
Yeah, Graham.
Okay,
What does a spell book?
I don't use those.
Which is
Maybe-
why I'm
maybe
giving
you
them
don't-
to you.
Need
Oh.
the books, Nanette. And this won't affect my re-enrollment, right?
Oh,
I'll
no.
still be able to. Okay.
No, yes, of course. You'll be basically jumping back in where you left off.
So you want all of them back alive?
Yes, Nasi. I don't know why
Yes,
you ask
please.
this every time
It's just
I hire
so
you.
much work sometimes, you know.
But
Was
you're-
there another option on the table?
Yes.
But you are getting paid to guide them, and if you can protect them, please do so.
I will.
Do you think it will be so nice we won't want to leave? I
I
hadn't thought about that.
I don't believe so. You don't have gills.
No.
But also that is why Clea and Antonia are also going with you. They will be also acting as protection, as well as Nanette. Tylon will be mostly there for the university representative and to gather information.
Does
Yes, I'm
everyone
very
know how to?
tough.
I'm sorry.
I was
No,
saying
I'm
I was
sorry.
very tough.
I was going to ask if everyone knows how to swim.
In a while, but I know.
Not that there's a whole lot of opportunity to practice out here, but sure.
I
I've
can
swam
fly.
before.
With the water breathing, you should be okay. You might not be able to swim, but you will at least you won't drown if you cannot.
That's good.
Sink and walk. Yeah.
Is swimming like flying like at all? Because that I can do.
In the water, but I haven't actually tried in chainmail before, so
Okay.
it'll be interesting.
I do have a lot of work to do, so if anyone else doesn't have any questions.
Do we have something to ride on? You said it's 4 to 5 days.
Yes.
Are we walking? Do we have horse?
You do have mounts on the set up for you at a stable towards the southwest entrance to the city. They're being held in a rentery place for you. And she's rummages in her drawer again and hands you a note, basically stamped with the university's seal saying, "Give these guys mounts." You will
Thank you,
also have a pack horse for miscellaneous gear. It's already set up for you.
To bring back the artifacts and
If there's
all
any
that.
artifacts, there's some fire starting gear if it gets super cold at night.
If we are to encounter any sort of inhabitants, what kind of protocol are we looking at as far as how to deal with them? If things should turn violent, do we run? What kind of protocol are we looking at there?
Please use your best judgment, but don't put yourself in any unnecessary harm's way. I would rather have you come back alive without artifacts than the opposite.
Very well.
Oh, you sound just like my mom. That's so nice.
Our students and the people we hire, safety is more important.
That makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
I believe she's paid to say that.
It
No,
still
Nanette.
feels nice.
I'm gonna head towards the door.
Antonia, can I see you for a minute before you head out?
Absolutely.
Okay,
And she'll wait for the rest of you to leave.
I'll follow Nanette out.
We'll head out.
As everyone's following me out, I'm gonna hand Clea my potion of water breathing. Here you go, pretty bird. You may need this.
Oh, thanks, Nanette. That's really kind of you.
Do
I
not
know
mention it.
I know she gave us all of these, but it's really nice and I appreciate it.
Nanette, do you have other arrangements for dealing with the water?
Do not worry about Nanette. Nanette can do what she wants.
Fair enough.
that makes me worry about Nanette like 1,000 times more.
Nanette will follow the rules. If it has big claws, big jaws, sharp teeth, do not go near.
I'm standing right here.
No, that sounds pretty smart to me. I mean, except for you, Nasi, you're really nice and definitely not at all terrifying.
There are far more terrifying things in the jungle.
I mean, the desert's a pretty gnarly place, like most of this place. I don't know how much time the rest of you have spent in here, but there's a lot. That's why I'm gonna be a big protector for my tribe someday.
There's lots of things want to
Not
kill
right
you.
now, but someday.
And after everyone else leaves Annette, Imra stands up from her desk and walks over to you, and she says, I just wanted to thank you personally for going out on this expedition. Your old tutor actually speaks very highly of you and says you're very capable, and it really comforts me that you'll be going with them. Nanette, Tylon, and Clea are very green. Nasi, we've worked with before and know is very capable, but it's good to know that the group is going to be in some capable hands. And I just wanted to say thank you.
Gosh, I appreciate that so much. I guess I shouldn't be surprised that Professor Vale would say such a thing. But regardless, thank you for your faith in me. I'll do my best. Nasi and I will do our best to bring everyone back.
Thank you. Have a safe trip.
Yes, thank you. And then she'll follow the group out.
Is there anything your group would like to do before you set out?
If there's any rope, not necessarily that I can buy, but if there's rope that I can find and snag without someone seeing, I'm going to snag like 50 yards of rope.
This is a city, so yes, there is definitely rope available.
Okay.
You want to do the first roll of the game with the sleight of hand check?
Oh, let me see. Yeah, I might as well.
All right, roll that
That's a bad
die.
cat.
Bad kitty. No wonder why you're on disciplinary
That is a
action.
dirty 20.
Okay. As you're walking through the city of Vumalor, which is very hot, very bustling, metallic-y scent and taste in the air, you're easily able to snag 50 feet of hempen rope without anyone noticing. Whether your party notices or not, but the shop owner didn't.
That's really all that matters. I will just pocket it in my pack as I'm walking.
Perfect. Anyone else?
If I notice, I just roll my eyes and try not to look.
Avert your gaze.
Yes.
Perfect. Clea, Nasi, and Tylon?
Tylon doesn't notice anything. He's got his head in a book going over notes as he's walking through the streets. I would like to go buy a few more supplies, knowing that the trip is going to be as long as it is. Mm-hmm. Just go ahead and buy 10 days worth of rations and water.
Okay.
Basically.
Easily. 5 gold for the rations, and then how much water you getting? How many water skins worth?
How much is in a skin? Basically, I just want to make sure we're all covered for the trip out and back because it's desert.
I'd say 1 day's worth, but also I don't know if Nasi would have mentioned anything that they.
Yeah, actually, if Nasi sees you going to purchase food, that's not necessary. I make food and water.
Oh, good.
It's
Thank
bland,
you.
but I bring spices.
I can make water too.
Very good.
So between the two of us, we should have every day 90 pounds of food.
Oh, I just do water. But yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I have any points to his amphora of endless water. We have literally all the water we could ever want.
Perfect.
Oh, that's useful.
Well, good. Save me a trip.
Yeah, it makes it easy because I live in the middle of the desert, and there's like, you can hunt for little things, but it's better to have the big stuff.
Of course.
If no one else is going to be doing anything as they head towards get their mounts, it doesn't take too long before your group gets to the southwest edge of the city. Um, there is a renting station. Literally just says mounts for rent. Um, it seems
This
like
must be the place.
and it seems like they are expecting you. Tylon, Imra probably sent a sending spell, honestly. You have 6 mounts, horses. One is just packed full of miscellaneous travel gear, but there's 5 up for you. There is a dwarf there who bustles up to you and he's like, "Y'all group from the university?"
Yes, how could you tell?
Imra said that there'd be an odd group on their way, and with the tabaxi, the bird, and the lizard, I'd say that
That's me, I'm the
constitutes as
bird.
odd.
You are the bird.
I got your mounts all set up for you. Right here. Just please bring them back in one piece.
Is that something that could...
You know them, Nasi, and this is definitely pointedly said at you.
You eat somebody's horse once when you have to, and never let you live it down.
This is my living, and I would like my horses living when they get back.
Fine. You said it once, I heard.
You should have bought the insurance.
That's what bonus horse is for.
Oh,
No,
yes, of course.
I need the bonus horse, the pack horse as well, too.
It will be fine, little bearded man.
6 horses. We'll be back.
Thank you. They're already saddled up for you. Have a safe trip.
Thank you. Wow, he was really nice.
He was so nice.
He was very nice.
Most of little bearded men go, Nanette, no, take that. Nanette, do not do that. Nanette, do not, no, stop. It is crazy.
There are 6 horses waiting for you. 4 are saddled. 1 seems to just be a pack animal. You all would know, especially you, Nasi, you recognize them on sight. These are special horses that have been bred with magics, so when they step on the sand, they do not sink into the sand. It's like as if they are riding on hard ground. So you will not be slowed by any difficult terrain from the sand.
I'm going to go up to one of the horses. Hi, I'm Clea. What's your name?
Just kind of like woofs at you and starts like sniffing at you like at your pockets. See if there's anything. Kind of nibbles at you a bit.
I mean, I have like this little straw that's stuck in my plumage if you want that.
It just kind of like nibbles it down. It's a very gentle horse. It's not like aggressive or anything. It just kind of, and then it nudges you on your chest.
I pat its nose. You're a good horse.
Winnie. Insert Winnie's here.
He didn't seem to like you very much, Nassie, but I think he seemed very nice out, you know.
It's fine.
Overall.
To be fair, Nasi probably had it coming like a little bit.
I'll go up to another one of the horses and kind of pat its withers and its nose a little bit, kind of getting to know it a little bit. But I'm also going to be looking over at Clea because I'm very curious about how logistically this is going to work for her.
Legs are really long.
Yes.
You got legs for days.
Legs for days.
Like,
it looks
is she just skipping the stirrups, or is it? Like,
you can lengthen the stirrups to a point.
it looks very awkward as
we talking like
Clea
Big
tries.
Bird trying to ride a horse?
Oh,
Just Carol Spitty, just trying really hard to stay on top of a horse.
Big Bird's legs aren't that long. Big Bird's all proportional.
Oh, so we're
But
okay. Even more so.
it's like-
All right.
if you're familiar with Secretary Birds, it's more like a flamingo trying to
Yeah.
ride a horse.
Secretary Bird's got legs.
It's all legs.
Yeah. So I don't want to be rude, but I'm very intrigued.
Then she tries to get on the horse, and it's all like Clea's kind of awkward anyway. Like, just when she's standing still, she looks super dignified, but she kind of has a skip to her walk, and like her feathers are constantly like poofed out. So she's generally kind of awkward looking anyway, and so this just is like knees akimbo, and yeah, it's a look. I mean, I could fly, but 4 to 5 days of straight flying is really tiring, and so
Sure, I bet.
it, and these horses seem really nice and seem really kind, and they have a job to do, and it's to carry us. So
Yep.
I'm gonna let them do their job.
Nasi, your horse gives you a disdainful look.
Yeah, I figured that would happen. Nasi is going to cast Speak with Animals.
Okay.
And first of all, he's going to talk to his horse. Listen, I know you may have heard some things. Half of them true. I will not eat you if you do not eat me. We be fair, I give you food. You take me to place. I bring you back. That fair?
Fair.
Okay,
No, like
great.
you still.
No, that's fine. You are literally transport. I respect you for what you do, but
You ate my
we don't have
dad.
to be friends. Oh. Yes. Sorry about that. Yes, really sorry. Can I still ride you? Is that going to be a problem?
It just woofs and like turns its head, but it doesn't do anything else. It's ignoring you now.
Okay, I can work with that. And he'll actually turn towards Clea's horse then and go, what is your name?
Clip.
Okay. Clea, your horse's name is Clip.
Oh, that's a nice name. Clip, 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 clip.
What a clever skill to have.
So when he's speaking to these horses, do we actually hear him saying these words to the horse, or is it like some kind of arcane language?
That's a good question. I imagine that it is probably kind of like if you imagine Spanglish, where it's every now and then it's mostly common, but you'll get a word of horse just in between.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we see you having kind of an argument with a horse and feeling a little bummed about it. That's cool.
Won't be the first time. Won't be the last.
Nanette and Tylon. You doing anything special with your
while
horse?
this was going on,
I'll go to my horse. I'll pull out the apple that I didn't eat for lunch because this is the only thing Tylon knows about horses is that they like fruit. So he'll go up to one and kind of, here you go. Sort of pet it on the nose, like I've only ridden horses at fairs, but let's have a good ride. I suppose we're going to get to know each other quite well over the next
Chomping on
weekend.
that apple. You don't know what it's saying, but it looks pleased.
I figure everyone else is talking to a horse. I may as well talk to a horse also.
Nanette just climbs up with a soft, if you bite the buck, Nanette off, Nanette will bite back. And just clambers on.
You're just like struggling on.
Yeah, and because she's short, she's like trying not to use her claws to like dig into the saddle. So she's like scoping it out, like where to pounce on it.
It like moves back and forth as it's trying to like account for your weight and as you're scrambling on. But it doesn't buck or anything. These are well-trained horses, so they're used to a lot of different people riding them. So
I'll hop on as well.
okay.
After seeing Tylon with the apple, Antonia kind of like pats her pockets and comes up with like maybe like an eighth of a sugar cookie and kind of looks at her horse and looks at the cookie, kind of thinks about it, and then offers the cookie to her horse.
You all know the way to this horse's heart. Love, affection, and tolerance.
And then she empties like a bunch of crumbs out of her pocket.
All right.
That's how you get ants.
As you all make your way out of the city of Vumalor, the city itself is very like a damp hot because there's metal, there's always working around here. But as soon as you step out into that sand, it's hot. It's like desert hot. Clea and Nasi, you're used to this. You know what this is all about. Antonia, I can't imagine that's comfortable for you in your metal armor. And Nanette, you're just absorbing that heat. But you guys make your way to the southwest. Is there anything you would like to talk about or discuss as you travel through these 4 to 5 days, which we will not go through all 4 to 5 days?
If I notice that Antonia and Nanette look at all uncomfortable, like sporadically, I will use my abilities to just create little gusts of wind around them every once in a while.
Thank you.
They're kinda
That's
cool them
so
off.
kind.
Mm-hmm.
Travel buddy.
And it's just Clea just sort of like as she's riding will occasionally just sort of flap her wings or her arms wings in their general direction and sort of just a little wave to you, and it just like creates this like nice little minute long breeze around you, just a little bit. So.
That's
Yes, everyone
precious.
remember to stay hydrated.
Mm-hmm.
And Nasi will use his decanter of endless water to regularly fill up canteens and everything. Just make sure you drink every hour. If you stop sweating, if you sweat, some of our people don't. I guess. Then check your paws. Is that yes?
Annette wishes she could sweat.
But if you stop
Definitely
sweating, you're
sweating.
probably going to die. So watch out for signs of heat stroke. Try to use regular cover. Yes, drink water.
Tylen is sweating profusely. He is generally a cloistered kind of guy, so being out in the sun like this is not agreeable. So if anything, he's overhydrating to compensate for the heat and trying his best to not complain much while riding very stiffly and just looking generally sort of unhappy to be there, even though he's very happy to be there.
Antonia
would
has
send-
no poker face.
I was gonna say Clea would probably send breezes his way too. She notices a lot. She may not be very bright, but she notices a lot.
I'm like pouring water on my face occasionally, Oh God, what are we doing out here?
Tying wet bands, like
Yeah.
As y'all are traveling through these 4 to 5 days, I would like everyone to make a perception check. And I do have a question for Clea. Clea, are
Yes.
you flying at any point during this travel?
I probably takes a little bit of time each day and like sort of fly out and sort of scout around. I don't know, probably I would say a couple times a day maybe.
Okay. I would like you to roll with advantage then.
Oh, thank you. Since
I got
my
a
flies...
24.
13.
16.
Oh, let's see.
Also 16.
22.
So
I'm too hot.
You're way too hot. You don't notice this until someone else points it out to you. But Clea, Because of your high vantage point throughout one of your flights, you are the first one to notice. Um, you also not notice it, Nasi, but just because Clea's got the higher vantage point, she notices it first.
Yeah.
You see off in the distance behind you. It looks like the sunlight glinting off metal behind you. This happens consistently throughout your trip, like at least 2 days. You probably notice it like halfway through your trip. And Nasi, while you're either setting up camp at night, you also notice possibly the signs of a campfire off in the distance.
I think if he sees that, he'll make mention of it. I mean, this world is majority desert, but at the
Yes.
same time, the likelihood of two groups being so close is not likely. So yeah, I think he'll definitely make mention of that. I do not know if we're being followed, but
Oh,
it
I
is.
think we're definitely being followed.
Is that something we need to worry about?
Yes.
Oh,
it
How
like
far away are they?
They
Would
are.
I have-
You probably wouldn't have. You probably could have gotten to them, but you would have been like separated from the group if you did.
Mhm.
So it's up to you if you wanted to, but no. Okay. It is very common. Nasti, you would probably know the most about this just because of your experience as a guide and just like dealing with people in general as an escort. It's not uncommon for there to be scavengers out in the desert, just like
Yep.
in general.
He's kind of one of them in his free time. Yes, let's just be careful, keep eyes out, uh, make sure someone is on watch at night. There are people and other things that aren't necessarily people that like to come and take what is not theirs.
Yeah, we run into them. They sometimes come into our tribe as well. We've had some experience with them. They're not nice. I don't like them very much. So we should be careful.
So we think they're just random scavenger, not following us for where we're going, right?
The fact that you see this consistently, at least through 2 or 3 days, is weird. Maybe hinting at the fact that you are being followed. Because if it's just like this, you might see him once. But the fact that you see glinting of metal and campfires,
I mean, usually if they don't get to us in the first day, they sort of like look for easier, slower targets, in my experience, possibly. But the fact that they're still following us and that there seem to be, I mean, a lot of the people, and I don't know, because new, a lot of the times the people who attack us don't usually have a lot of like metal on them. And the fact that these ones do is also slightly worrisome.
Also, they are not being sneaky or quiet. They build fires at night. They are within eyesight. They do not care if they're seen.
were you able to tell how many there were?
Was I?
you're too far. You just see that glint off metal in the distance.
Yeah, I couldn't tell.
Roll an insight check. Maybe if you can see. Roll another perception check to see if you can differentiate. Like maybe more than one glint off metal or something like that.
18?
You definitely saw the concurrent glint of like two pieces, like one here, so at least two.
There are at least 2 that I saw.
Okay, well, I mean, no one should really be traveling in the desert by themselves, right? It's
Yeah.
dangerous out here.
It would be a shame if something happened to them.
It would be a shame.
Would be a shame if something happened to us.
That would be a bigger shame. Yes.
I would not lose sleep over it. They are far enough away. They are not coming uh, tonight, and regardless, we will keep watch. Um,
For sure.
Yeah, and we're really tough, right?
super
I mean,
tough.
you look really tough, Antonia. I mean, Annette, you're kind of on the small side, so I don't know, but I did.
Nanette is not threatening at all.
Fine, tough.
Do I believe Nanette at all with that statement?
It's up to you, but just because you're small doesn't mean shit.
I don't think Nanette's good at lying, so I'm just gonna give it to you straight. Nanette is clearly a bad liar.
Yes, Nazi lives in the desert. Nazi has seen giant scorpions and giant snakes and all sorts of horrific things that live out here. Nothing has scared Nazi more than it.
I'm sorry. I'm really hot. Did you say giant scorpions?
Yes,
Yeah,
when you
very
hear them coming,
delicious.
they click a lot. If you hear it means giant scorpion is coming to feast. Probably on your face. They go for that first.
But I like my face.
Good to know. So who's hungry?
Nanette is.
I think I'll wait.
A little bit, but it's fine.
Just to like backtrack to that comment with Nanette though, Nanette is not very threatening looking. I feel like she does use that to her advantage though.
For sure.
Oh yeah, I think the go-to is like pretend to be meek and get that 1-2 sucker punch in.
Oh yeah, definitely. True cat fashion right there.
Clea, I wanted to ask you about something.
Yeah, anything.
Do you like flying?
I do. I really like flying. It's nice.
I would like to fly someday. I hope
You
that
should.
Yes, I can change into a lot of things, but something that flies not yet.
You
I
can
would like
change
to
into
see what.
things?
Yes, I can change into a lot of things that are in desert. Lots of different animals and things. It is part of how I survive, but I cannot change into things with wings. It is very complicated. You are a complex creature, and I envy that. I would love to see the world the way that you see it sometimes.
Oh, I'm sure you will someday. You would love it too. It's really beautiful. A little empty,
That's
but
it's
I
good to
would
know.
love to be able to do what you do. That's so cool. I
Maybe we can help each other learn how to do. I can teach you how to change into animal, and you can help me learn best flight maneuverability.
Oh, of course. I like teaching people how to fly. I used to teach all the little ones when they didn't before I became a strong warrior, they used to have me train the little ones how to fly because they're, you know, I mean you've seen me on a and I'm but and they're more so the little awkward and they trip all over themselves and they're really cute. But I would be happy to teach you how to fly.
It is deal.
It is deal.
Would you like to set up watch?
Yeah, yeah. Nasi will take first watch, so it was his suggestion.
Do not
Um,
wake up Nanette unless it's an emergency.
Before we bed down, I'll take some time to I'll take my staff and begin drawing kind of a perimeter in the sand around where we're camping. And you'll see him kind of concentrate for a second. There's a gem on his staff that will sort of dimly glow, and then the tracings around the camp also glow sort of a pale white. And after he finishes, Tylen will say, "Okay, well, while we're sleeping, or if anyone dozes off, if they cross this line, I'll know about it." And he casts alarm.
That's so smart. You're
Very
really
Very good idea.
smart.
Thank you. It's not much, but I suppose out here every little bit helps, right?
Absolutely.
It does.
Huh?
Nasi, if you wake me up, I'll take second watch.
Okay.
I can take third watch if need be. If we're doing 3.
What are you
Yes,
doing?
3 should get us through night, unless anyone else wants to split up.
I know Nanette is not taking a watch. Get that cat nap in. Tylon, are you taking a watch?
I can, but I'll sort of strategically hang back while the others are deciding who takes watch.
Well, we have at least one more night, right, in the desert.
Yes, tomorrow
So-
morning you expect to get there sometime tomorrow.
Okay. Well, I mean, we can always change up watches tomorrow night and the night after, and
Sure. Nothing wrong with alternating.
Okay. Those who are taking watch, please roll perceptions.
And 18. And Mary, I should note that I did use the create food and water. So if you're
Okay.
keeping track of,
Yeah, that should refresh tomorrow. So,
sure.
13.
23.
dang. Everyone's watch goes by fairly uneventful. Clea, during your watch, you do see the fire off in the distance again. What's that?
Do they look any closer, or do they look like they're sort of keeping pace behind us?
Definitely at least keeping pace.
Okay.
Yeah. If they did catch up a little bit, it's not significant, but they are.
Cool.
Okay.
I focus on them through my entire watch.
You can't see me, but I'm glaring daggers at you. Okay. The next day. You are about... If everything goes as planned, you should make, at least based off the map and the directions that Imra gave you, and Nasi's directions, they don't need to make a check because this is their home. They know this area like the back of their hand.
I got that Outlander background.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
They believe that you'll make it there sometime today. Clea. Highs or lows?
Oh, highs.
Oh, that's the wrong dice I rolled.
Yeah, Outlander background.
Okay. You are not the first one to notice, but everyone roll me a survival.
Oh, actually, that's fine.
You were not flying as this happened, so...
17.
19 for Nanette.
3.
22.
What was Clea?
This heat is killing me.
Sorry, 17.
Okay,
Also.
so anyone who got at least a 15, you notice it right away. There is a strange drop in... Okay, I don't know if it's a drop because I don't know anything about the weather, but there is a change in pressure. Nasi, it's very weird. It's a change in pressure, and the weather is actually changing. As you're traveling throughout the morning, you actually see the storm clouds forming above you, and they're dark and they're large. This is weird behavior for a desert. It's not unheard of due to the weird planar shenanigans, but it looks like it's gonna downpour. Like, bad. And probably most of you have not normally seen, maybe except for Nanette. Nanette's definitely seen a storm before. But Nasi and Clea, probably not, unless it was off at a distance. And Antonia, you've seen snowstorms, but not rainstorms. And Tylon, I believe you've lived in Vumalor your entire life, right? Yeah, you don't know. You've probably never seen a thunderstorm before. So Nanette, you're really the only one who realizes this is going to be a bad rainstorm.
It is going. Nasi,
Yes.
it is going to rain soon. You know, with water from the sky and the kaboom kaboom.
That should give us a nice break in the heat, shouldn't it?
Gosh, I could use that.
Ah, yes, and we are in a desert. And what happens when water and sand mix?
It's not good.
I
Oh,
I don't I
It
don't
does
know.
happen when water and sand
So
mix.
when water and mud, well, water and dirt make mud.
Yeah.
Sure.
Water and sand
I
make
mean, I don't know what mud is, but sure.
quicksand.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
Oh.
It is not, and I do not believe any of you can breathe underground.
No.
No, I don't think we have a potion for that.
No, I don't think so.
How soon is this going to hit us?
Definitely before you're supposed to make it there.
If we ride hard,
Sorry, I'm
Are you
playing with
focusing?
I'm trying to focus my
Just
camera.
the-
Sorry.
just the camera
what are we
focus.
doing?
Yeah, sorry. Okay.
Please
Oh,
read.
no.
That's worse.
Let's see.
Hold on.
Rain.
Oh god, I hate this so much. Okay. Okay, we're just gonna have to deal.
Oh no.
Yeah, it should autofocus in a few minutes. Sometimes
Yeah.
that happens.
Air cast blur.
I'm just gonna leave it. Continue. I'm sorry.
Okay. Nasi, do you know where any shelter? Any? Would we be safe on some rocks? In some rocks? Around?
I guess
Look,
that's.
I don't know.
Tony is grasping at straws. Air,
Tell me it will be okay.
would there be any caves or anything nearby? Any type of natural shelter?
You have not seen any natural shelter.
I think we should ride hard and hopefully get there quickly.
Okay.
Okay, you are going to be pushing the horses to try and beat the storm. The horses sense your urgency, so that is no issue there. But I would like y'all to roll, or at least one person to roll a survival check. If either one person, or if you all want to. I know this is Nasi's thing, and you don't normally need to roll survival.
Can I assist him?
If you can tell me how you're assisting him.
Well, I am proficient in nature, in survival. So I think that because she's noticed and is familiar with storms, she's going to be looking for locations that either have a harder sediment or are higher elevation, so they're less likely to go and kind of be swept down.
Okay.
Okay.
You can have advantage.
That is 24.
You are easily able to figure out the right direction, first of all, because the weather is just throwing everything out the window with the desert. It does start raining as you push your horses. But with Nanette helping you, you are actually able to find the eye of the storm where it's clear. With it, by the time you make it, you've gotten wet with rain, but it's not like it wasn't full force yet. Your group crests this sand dune, just starting to get wet from the rain, and you come across a large lake. It is so big, and it is crystal clear. For those of you that this world is a lot of desert, and especially from where you are all from, it's unlikely that you've never actually seen the ocean. The ocean itself is actually, the continent of Eatios is elevated above the ocean about like 200 feet. And there's only one place on the continent where you can safely get down to the water. And even then, that water is dark, cold, and choppy. What you see as you crest this dune is a crystal clear lake. In the center, you see a large structure be made out of a dark blue stone with different shells adorning it, and the tip of it, just like that tip of a spire, is sticking out from the water. And you see multicolored coral of many different shades and hues. It's kind of like, it's very vibrant. And it's just like a bunch of coral, and you see swarms of fish. They're very bright. They're not like bass or anything. They've got like a lot of fronds, colors, and they're just swimming around. There's also seaweed like almost touching the surface and breaking the surface of the water.
Okay, who needs swimming lesson?
Oh, me! I do.
So what you want to do is crouch down and think really hard and take the form of a dolphin. Okay, it's not working. Okay. Plan B. Long, wide strokes with, I guess, wings, feathered wings. Yes, and kick feet. You have tail feathers. You could kind of use those a little. It's like flying, I imagine, but thicker.
But
Like strong wind against, I imagine. I'm thinking. Go with that. See if that works.
Okay.
If not, we'll do backup, and I will pull you.
What time of day is it?
Late morning.
Okay. Are we exploring now? Like if she's gonna go in the water, maybe if we're all gonna go do our thing. I feel like maybe water breathing. I'm not saying she's gonna sink, but in case she sinks.
And the way
I mean, I'm happy to try and,
the way
No, you're absolutely right. We just had breakfast.
Pull
We
you
should
up.
wait hour or cramps.
the way it appears, it looks like that a bunch of the sand from the desert has kind of like toppled into the lake. So there is a slope leading down there. So you're not just jumping in and sinking to the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you got
Leah's gonna just go in and splash around for a little bit and try and practice.
So there is definitely, it's not super deep, at least towards the edge. And this dark orange sand is like a completely different contrast from this almost completely white sparkling sand at the bottom.
Okay.
It's very pretty.
So you said that the weather was clear in this particular area, or is it still raining and coming down on us?
It's still raining, but you are in the eye of the storm.
Okay.
So you are not being pelted with rain right now.
Okay. Then Tylen will take a few minutes while they're practicing swimming. Tylen pulls out a book and like a writing utensil and starts what looks like making notes just on everything that's presenting itself right now.
Tylen, make an Arcana check.
Oh. 17.
Yeah, with your just knowledge in general and what you've been studying at the university, the storm is probably a side effect of the plane of water being touching down and basically dumping this lake into the middle of the desert.
I'll keep that to myself for now.
Okay.
How close are the fish to the shore?
Not that close. They're mostly weaving between the seaweed and the coral.
I'm gonna try and snag me some suckers, so Nanette just pounces in.
Oh no! Let's see. Go for an attack roll to try and get it, or a reflex, or like a sleight of hand, like dex save, or a sleight of hand check. Whatever you think best suits the situation.
I think she's pouncing, so I'm definitely gonna go with an attack.
So you're just gonna punch it to death.
Well, I think it's claws. I think she's like jumping and it's like, ah! And she's like, Nanette will eat you all. But it's like because she's in the water now.
Don't you remember that scene from Mulan where he just like punches a lake and pulls a fish out?
That's a 22.
You are able to grab this multicolored fish. It is like blue and yellow, with long fins from the water. It's probably about this size. It's not super big, but enough for a snack.
It is the first interesting fish I have caught. I'm immediately going to go and try and start a fire to like cook this fish.
But you don't want sashimi?
Antonia was I was gonna crouch down and like try and see if it was salt or fresh water. So when that happens, I'm probably already wet from the rain, but that probably splashed me quite a lot. But I'm so impressed that just like in and out with the fish, not even mad. Like, that's incredible. Those reflexes.
Yeah, she's very dexterous.
Yeah.
It's salt water.
It is still raining though, right?
Just not where you are. But you can see the rain pelting the desert several hundred yards away.
How warm is the water?
It's comfortable.
Okay.
It's not like cold, but it's not like uncomfortably hot. It's nice.
Nasi's going to be already in the water, maybe kind of, just kind of swimming in circles a little bit. He has a natural swim speed that I guess just wasn't even aware of, but yeah, it comes natural to him. He kind of does the whole crocodile alligator thing of just like sticking his nose up over the top, so you see the full frill and everything. But yeah, just kind of idly waiting for everybody else to get in.
I love that. That's good.
Leah is attempting to swim. I'm probably doing okay, but she's definitely attacking it like she would if she was flying. So there's a lot of splashing right now.
It's more like you're taking a bath than
A little bit.
Weird question. Is there
That's fun.
anywhere to put our horses?
I was just
Like
gonna ask
to
that.
hitch them.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to
hobbles?
hitch them, but there are a couple stakes that you can like kind of shove and dig into the sand that you can tie them to their reins to.
Okay. Is Nasi visible from the shore?
Yeah.
Or is he underwater?
Yeah, he's got that big bright blue frill, very, I guess, shark-like kind of. But yeah, it's clear to see him.
Okay. Tylen will sort of approach the water and call out, Nasi, you're the expert here. What should we do with our animals if we're going to be going down there?
They'll be fine.
Please don't say eat them.
No, I wasn't going to say eat them. That is in case of emergency. They're backup meat. But no, I promise, no eating horses this time. No, they'll be fine. They're smart horses. They're magical horses. They'll stay.
Do you think we should have anything to worry about from our other friends out in the desert?
Yes, but are you going to give your potion to a horse just so it can come with you?
Well, no, but I don't know.
Gotta take risks.
I suppose I want us to be what's the word? I don't want them to know we're here in case they come upon here later on.
Well, and how are we going to get home if we don't have horses?
Well,
It's a
that too.
long.
Do
Trip
any
back.
of you have a tent?
Wouldn't that be on our pack horse? I think there were bedrolls and camping equipment, right?
There was definitely at least bedrolls. They might not have packed a tent for you just because. Let's be real here. Nasi's real big. And it's a. If you mentioned it, they would have packed one or made sure you got one. So
Yeah, I think between Nasi and Clea, it's tough finding a sizable tent.
So there might be one, not enough for Nasi and Clea.
It's fine.
So if we use the tarp for the tent, we put the sand over the top of it like camouflage, and we prop it up. Perhaps they will not see the horses.
Oh, that could work. It's something anyway. Is this the most likely spot for them to follow us to? They didn't follow us through the rain, right?
You can't tell. You can't see through the rain.
Or we could wait one more night, and if they show up, then we settle it with them, and then we go in.
I kind of want to wait one more night just to. We can start early the next morning. We can be sure that we're well rested, and if they're following us, we'll find that out too.
Oh, terrible idea. Also, most things that eat that are predators come out at night. I think this is same for water, so perhaps we will see if there is something that might want to eat us tonight.
All right.
Sounds
I don't
good.
know if that's an argument for staying here.
Well, I think we don't want to be in the water.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
By the time you're all done with your
that
learning
makes
how
more
to
sense.
swim, it's definitely like just afternoon.
I would like to kind of walk around a little bit. We're still in the eye.
It seems like this entire lake is in the eye.
Okay, so not much changing. I'd like to kind of just walk along the shore a little bit and look underwater and just around, see if I can see anything interesting besides like the obvious Miracle Lake, or any changes in the environment, right? Kind of along the not
Shore?
cusp,
The
whatever the
the shoreline, right?
the shore.
I want you to make a perception and an insight check.
If I may, I would like to join her.
Okay.
A natural 1 and a natural 20.
Okay, which
So,
the perception was 1.
yeah, we can say the perception was 1,
okay.
making it 5. And then insight is 24.
Okay. Do you want to roll yours, Tylon, before I continue?
I would like to cast Detect Magic beforehand.
Okay. You can't really anything that's like farther than 30 feet, you don't really sense anything. And any of the coral or like the seaweed or fish you're able to like get a sense of, you don't really sense anything off about them. Though the entire area, it's not strong, it's extremely faint. Conjuration, which you do know is correspond to any planar travel type magic, so it makes sense. But it's very faint.
Perception, 21.
And an insight.
Oh, and an insight.
Please.
Okay. 10.
Okay. So, one of you realize one thing and one of you realize the other. Antonia, with your insight check, so there's something the way like the coral is set up. It looks like, just like from your walking around like some of the perimeter of the lake, it looks like it's kind of like roads leading up to that central structure made out of blue rock. It's like a cross, so you got like 4 roads leading up to it. And just the way the coral is like shaped, and it kind of looks like living quarters. Like there's like holes and like hollowed out rooms. Tylon, you actually see larger fins and larger shapes swimming about through the coral and the seaweed.
Oh boy. I'll sort of reach out and tap Antonia on the shoulder and point out into the water and say, do you see that?
Yeah, and I'll say, no, I hadn't, but I was looking at and I point out the roads and whatnot, so we'll share our information. Pool it, one might say.
But shit.
Not sorry.
I'm not sure what we'll be finding down there, but I'd rather us not become lunch, no matter what.
Oh, full agreement here. But I suppose that's why I'm here. And Clea and Nanette is also a guardian, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So you think that looks like a living quarters?
I do. I mean, it might be possible, with the shapes you saw, that maybe there's something down there, or was something down there.
Hmm.
I think we should just be prepared for.
Yay! Thank you, Camille.
We should be prepared for that possibility that there's more down there besides dinner. And I'm just gonna kind of look over at Nanette and her cooking fire.
Have you? Forgive me if this is a strange question. Have you ever been in a fight before?
Oh, I mean, a lot of training fights, a lot, like an awful lot of training fights. Um, but if what you're asking is like with actual bad things or people, no, not so much.
Well, far be it for me to judge. I've spent the past 10 years inside of a library, so I'm not sure how much use I'll be in a fight. Also, but
Well, I think it'll be useful. If I had to put some sort of arbitrary number on it, I'd say I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 solid years of training. Um, I know I seem kind of flighty, but my sword's not just for show, I promise.
good to know. I didn't think it was for show, but yeah, I suppose we'll just have to watch out for each other in case this
Absolutely.
gets hairy.
I think everything has fins, but I know what you mean.
Slimy, sticky.
Yes.
Slick?
I'm not sure what the right word would be.
Scaly?
We'll figure it out together.
I suppose if we've sort of, walked the shoreline enough, I'll go ahead and head back to camp.
Same. I'll head back as well.
Have I cooked the fish?
Yes, you cooked the fish.
I'll share half with Nasi.
You just toss it in the water and he full just crocodiles it. Yeah.
I love this.
Nasi is also going to try to find a school of fish that haven't been punched by Nanette and speak with animals with them.
Okay.
So I imagine he finds a colorful group of fish and it's like, hello. Where are you all from?
Water?
I suppose I deserve that.
Glop, glop, glop.
What are you? I am new to water. I think you have more experience
Water
than
good?
me. Water is good. Is there cool stuff to see here? I am tourist.
What is cool?
I don't know. It's what people say. I just started saying it. Interesting. Is there interesting thing to see here?
Live here a while. Nothing interesting now. New sand.
Yeah, lots of new sand. Oh, what eats you?
Oh, big fish. Big
Hmm,
fish with long fins.
big fish here.
Big fish here. Like your long fins. And they kind of like nudge at your hands, like point at your arms.
Oh, okay. One big fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish.
A school.
Lots. Okay. Um, close or
Everywhere. Swim fast.
okay. Good luck. Don't die.
I like to imagine like Nanette is like going for another fish in the
Oh,
background.
yeah, like I think she's been like sneakily like making her way closer to this conversation. She's like,
Yes, good. Nanette will strip the fish eats while he talks.
I think when Nazi hears that, he's going to get out of the water.
Okay.
Kind of full body, head to tail shake, just shakes it all out, and then we see Nanette. Nanette, get out of water now.
Right now?
Yes. You are not catfish.
That is true. Nanette will get out of water not because you told me to, but because it is unpleasant.
Because it's what Nanette wants to do, I'm guessing. Listen,
Now you are getting it.
I think when Antonia and Thailand are back, so I talked to fish. They said that there are things, big fish that eat them, that have, they said fins, and they pointed to my arms. There might be, what, humanoid fish people that are meat eaters, and there are lots of them, and they are big.
Good to know.
Does that sound like what you saw, Tyler?
Looked more fish-like to me than person, but
You mostly saw it moving through like, you never got like a full body look of anything.
it just kind of like a fin, really, is what I
Yeah.
saw, right?
Big long fin.
Yeah. So, as Nanette is coming out of the water, I'll say that's probably a good idea to stay out of there. I don't know exactly what we're dealing with down there, but it looks big.
I think, like many things, there is benefit of numbers, and nobody goes into water alone. I think that is probably best.
It's
Agreed.
a very good idea. And I'll mention the oddity of the possible architecture, the streets and the living quarters, what'd you say, windows?
Yeah, there were windows.
Archways, like
Yeah. There was never actually any doors. It just seems like a cutout. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
openings.
Yeah.
To this point, should any of us do fighting underwater, try to avoid sweeping attacks, resistance of water makes that slow, go for stabbing.
Oh, that's something I hadn't considered. That's a very smart.
Huh.
Kind of hold out my staff, be like, okay.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to think about this.
No, trust me, I get it. My cantrips are produce flame and thorn whip and poison spray. Yeah, I'm doing really well right now.
But I like. Yeah. No. Okay. I'll have to think about this. Luckily, these are
Nanette
pointy.
just like has her claws extend.
I know. Clea sort of, it's like, well, at least these are kind of sharp, and she sort of like sticks her leg up like at a straight 90-degree angle so you can see the talons on her feet.
So,
Just like,
you all can
not
mull
in that gesture.
over how you're going to attack things if you have to, as you take the night, and we'll figure it out after break.
Yay.
All right. Everybody stretch, hydrate, pet your animals. Pet them twice and twice again for me. And we'll be back. You guys wake up the next day. The storm it's still going, but it's just like a light drizzle. So it's overcast. So it's hard to see. How are you starting your day?
With a fish fry, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't like sort of shake my feathers off a little bit, but I can't like lose the sort of damp quality, and I don't like it very much. It's unpleasant.
That's understandable.
Tylen gets up with a big stretch. Looks surprisingly fresh, despite the last few nights and days in the desert. But I'm assuming it's, if nothing else, a better temperature.
Yes, it
today,
is
so.
definitely better temperature than the treckless days that you spent under the sun. While it is still hot, it is much cooler.
Yeah. So Tylen will get to work packing stuff up, doing his best to, not that it's really going to matter, but trying to keep everything as watertight in his pack as he can. Just keeping busy in the morning, basically, until ready to go.
Okay.
I suppose I should ask this now. Who can see in darkness?
Oh,
never mind.
Does anyone have light source that can work underwater? Because sometimes it can get dark if we go really deep.
It does look like
Perfect.
any of the places in the coral is like there's light. You don't know about that big building in the center though.
Okay.
I'm gonna hold up my tinderbox and kind of look at it and kind of look at the lake, and I don't think I do.
You can leave that with the horses. It gets wet and useless.
well, I should leave mine too. It's not useful, is it? Sorry, I wasn't prepared for this.
There's a quartz crystal attached near the top of Tylen's staff. You see him kind of reach up and touch it for just a brief moment, and when he pulls his hand away, it's brightly lit. Cast light.
Helpful. Yeah.
Oh,
That was very handy.
Not much, but it's something.
The bigger fishes will no doubt be attracted to it.
I'll just remember the stab, not the swing, right? That's what we do.
It is
Stabbing, no
okay.
swinging.
I will protect you.
I feel safer already.
You
All
shouldn't.
Are you going to take a nice big swig of those potions?
oh yes.
Oh, I'm gonna just walk into the water, just straight down.
Sounds right.
Yeah, I'm gonna just
Chug.
try not to taste it and chug the heck out of it.
Taste
In
fishy.
mind, about what time is it?
Early.
Okay. Just in case we're down there the entire time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like the taste.
Nasi is not going to drink his.
Okay. So you know you're going to have to come back every 15 minutes for air.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Okay. No, I'm sorry. I'm dumb. Yes. I thought you were just going to hold your breath because I know lizard folk have a 15.
Yes,
Can hold their
he
breath
is-
for 15 minutes.
He is
Yes.
going to hold his breath for the first 15 and kind of just get a lay of the not land and make his decision from there.
Okay. You all descend into the lake. 3 of you with potions in your stomach, and they taste fishy, but just like a fish steak, not that bad. And as you walk into the water, you can breathe it. You have no issues whatsoever. For sake of simplicity, you can still talk to each other, but you only can only within a certain range, because then everything else just sounds garbled. And yes, you can still cast spells. Obviously, anything fire related is going to take half damage, because water, obviously.
Great.
Nanette did not drink a potion, but I think specifically the item that she's using creates like a dome of air around her head.
You have the Necklace of Adaption.
Mm-hmm.
If that's how you want to flavor it, go for it.
Yeah. We'll go with an astronaut helm.
So you guys walk into the lake. The sand slopes down all the way to the bottom, and suddenly you're just in this crystal clear lake, sunshine shining straight to the bottom where the sand is white. There are large beds of seaweed, growing impossibly high, almost to the surface. And you are walking down this, what Antonia says is a road. At least that's what it looks like. And it's much more apparent as you get to the bottom. You can see straight through. At the very end, you can see that large blue stone structure decorated with shells and maybe some shiny baubles. It's hard to tell from here. What are you doing?
I would like to pick up a little bit of the white sand and stick it in my bag,
Okay, easy enough.
my fairly
to-
empty bag at this point.
Nanette would like to look around and kind of gauge the situation, see if anyone's watching them.
Roll perception.
I think Nasi's doing something similar as well in an attempt to try to see what the general fauna is like down here.
That is a 22.
I was gonna say, since Nasi was also gonna look, do we just want to use our passives? Or I'll give you the option, passive or roll. If anyone else is looking around.
You can
I'll use my
Nasi's
passive.
Yeah, Nasi has a 16 passive.
What was yours, Clea?
Mine is I would be looking around, but I definitely would be looking at anything that was remotely shiny. My passive is 17.
Okay. With passives and Graham, Nanette's rolling. Everyone except Eva. Sorry, Eva, you just missed the DC.
Out of my element.
Oh yeah, and you kind of do you're weighed down. You're not sinking because you're walking down, but you're definitely not off floating or you're walking along the bottom. You're being weighed down by your armor.
Yeah.
You all see large shapes, not size category large, but large compared to the fish you've been seeing. You see faces peeking out from behind, between the seaweed, or quickly darting from building to building. They are brightly colored, just like the fish, long frills, stripes, spots, and you distinctly see faces, humanoid faces. But and as you get a better look, they're actually cautiously peeking out as you walk. But they don't make any move towards you, but they're only cautiously hiding.
Clea waves. Hello!
As you make a really loud sound, hide back behind that.
Oh.
Antonia, if someone points it out to you, you do notice them. Okay. Yeah. Especially after Clea says something.
Yeah, I'll follow her wave up to the
It is okay. We do not mean any harm.
I'll call out in Primordial.
As you call out in Primordial, they kind of start for a second and slowly inch their way out. There are some larger ones and some smaller ones, as if adults and children. They are finned from the waist down and have humanoid figures from the waist up. So they have arms, opposable thumbs. They're actually webbed, and gills and frills, very multicolored, many different ranges, lots of yellows, blues, purples. And they kind of peek out at you as you say that.
I'm gonna turn to my companions.
I have forgotten what we are here to do.
Oh, hey, me too. It's fine.
And this is Nanette is out of her depths. And
they responded to you though. That's so neat. That was an interesting language. I haven't heard that one before, but it was very cool. And they
Nasi,
seem to like it.
you know the language too. I'm pretty sure you know primordial. So you
He
understood.
does.
You understood
Yeah.
what Nanette said.
Okay. Yeah, he just can't say anything because he's holding his breath.
Please tell me that was something friendly.
Of course, I told them we do not mean them harm. I said hello. Hello, hello.
If you have proficiency in Arcana or Nature, you may roll.
19 Arcana.
22 are.
Tony's just taking in the sights.
16 nature.
Clea's not rolling.
Oh no.
Clea's not bright. It's okay. We love her.
-1.
Yeah. You all recognize these to be mer people. So mermaids, merfolk.
Clea would never have expected seen a mer person in her entire life.
This
I
desert
have
bird.
no idea what. They're fish people. It's like I'm a bird person, but they're fish people.
As you're like kind of like discussing between yourselves, a couple like smaller ones like kind of like quickly come out and like swim up to Antonia, while some of the bigger ones like, oh no. And they're just kind of like swimming around you a little clumsily. Antonia, they're kind of like interested in how your armor is glinting. And you too, Tylon, not your light, if it's still on. They're also looking at your light as well.
I will reflexively cast Mage Armor as they approach.
I will not cast anything at this point. I'll just kind of hold my hands out, kind of showing them that I've got nothing in there. I've got my ring visible, probably like a shiny gold glint maybe, and I'll just say hi, hello, in common and celestial and gnomish, even though I'm
just in case.
Doing what I can.
They just kind of look at you weird, and as none of you are like actively like doing anything to like actually harm them or do anything threatening, some of them come out more in like basically a school starts like coming around you, like floating and looking at you. Maybe every once in a while one of them is like looking at your like your cloak, Tylon, and like tugging at it. Like they're very curious.
I'm just like turning at like Clea is fascinated, and she's doing that thing where like she like turns her head all the way upside down and then to sort of twist herself around so her legs get all tangled up as they swim by her. This hi, hello, hi, hello, hi, who are you? Hello.
I'll just translate for whenever someone says anything.
Sure. At some point, what does an old fish look like? They're much duller in color. Let's put it that way. And they are holding a large branch of coral, long since like petrified. And the others kind of like part for them as they come up. And they start speaking to you. What is this? What is you? And Nanette, you're able to understand, but obviously primordial is not the same as Aquan. So there is like some difference. Nasi, definitely maybe start thinking.
Yeah, I think at this point, he is, and well, I think he's going to turn into an octopus. I was thinking reef shark, but that might be a little too intimidating. So, Nasi is going to kind of step back for just a second, and then do his wild shape and become regular sized, moderately sized octopus, and then kind of just wiggle up to everybody again.
As you do change, like basically everyone like any adult sized ones like kind of grab the younger ones and like run back, because this is just like this big lizard thing just turned into an octopus, and they know what octopuses are. But the elder looking one doesn't look super phased, or if they do, they are concealing it well. What is you?
And
Well,
Tonya is phased. She's pretty surprised by that.
I am Nanette, and these are my companions. We are here to go inside that thing.
But what is you? But why our burial grounds?
Oh, I did not know that. We were sent here for knowledge.
As you... sorry, go ahead. You may finish.
And I am a tabaxi. That is what I am. We are from the material plane.
They just look at you. He looks at you weirdly, like as if not comprehending. And as you finish up, you all feel the water it's like a large vibration. You know when you shake a cup and that vibrates on the surface, that kind of like echoes throughout the water, and smaller waves come across you. As that happens, basically everyone except this elder merfolk flees back into their abodes.
Where'd everybody go? What was that?
You are from out there? And they
Yes.
point. Several sleeps ago, our territory was no longer large. And they're just trying to figure out how to say this. Since then, burial ground's dangerous.
Why?
Nanette, you're translating, right?
Yes.
Okay. Dangerous how?
What she said.
They just kind of shrug. You are kind. We mean no harm.
We mean no harm either. Also, either. She's very shaken by this whole thing.
They, we mean no harm to this, and they kind of like point at you. Just don't hurt us.
Oh no.
We would never hurt you.
Maybe we can help. Can we help?
What are Tylon and Octopus Nasi doing?
When that vibration kind of went through the water, Nasty inks just a little bit, and so he's kind of waving that away with a few of the octopus arms. But otherwise just kind of scuttling on the ground a little bit. He can't really engage in this conversation too much. It's more just like a back and forth between Nanette and the elder merfolk.
Tylon seems torn between wanting to stay, paying attention to the conversation that's happening, but also the T-Rex vibration clearly startled him a bit. So he's got one eye like out in the distance, just sort of idly preparing for whatever may be coming their way. Looks a little nervous.
Okay. Go where you wish. Will not stop.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Yes,
I'm just gonna
thank
start
you.
walking.
Oh, they were really nice.
Yes, they are very nice. We could stay and chat all day, and then you would all drown.
Oh, right.
She
this
makes a good point.
Nazi just waves by with 4 of the tentacles.
The elder kind of ushers like some of the younger ones away who are like still peeking out.
I flash a little of like, I'll bring my shield out and kind of like flash it a little bit, catch the light a little bit.
Starstruck eyes. Watching that little sparkle glint.
Is the elder still within eyesight?
Yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna take one of my. Oh my gosh, I don't know how to pronounce these though.
Yikawa?
Yikawa? Yikawa. I'm gonna take one of my Yikawa, which is probably far more deadly than his little coral thing, and I'm gonna set it down and motion for him to take it when he feels comfortable.
You cut off slightly. What'd you say?
I'm going to set one of the Yikawas down for him to like pick up when he feels like it's ready, because his weapons are pish posh applesauce compared to that.
It doesn't even look like a weapon. It looks like it's just like a status symbol.
But I have the feeling that they don't have.
Rusts.
Yeah, I have the feeling they don't have many weapons, so to take care of themselves. So I'll give them that.
All right. Tell me what you're doing.
We're gonna move towards the gravesite.
Okay.
What
Yeah,
we came
if-
here for, right?
That is what we're here to do, right?
Yeah, stick together.
Do we need to? Do we think that they could tell us anything more about it? They just said it was dangerous now.
Right. Do they know what kind of danger is out there?
Is it a thing or a person or people?
You can go back and ask.
Should we ask that?
I think we should, but we're kind of reliant on Nanette to translate.
At least one of us.
I think if they go to turn around, Octopus Nazi will kind of grab Nanette with a couple of the tentacles and mime, I'm going ahead, and then put a tentacle up to be quiet and look.
So Nasi's going ahead. What is?
Yeah, I figure since everybody probably has half movement in water anyway, and yeah, he'll have scout ahead anyway,
Okay.
and he will use his octopi underwater camouflage
Ooh.
to be sneaky about it.
Nanette, are you gonna go back and talk to them, or no? Or are you just staying put?
So we wanted to know why it was dangerous?
That would be
Or
good.
at least if there's other creatures, maybe, that they don't.
Are there any other creatures or things like this that I should be worried about?
Sorry, were you talking to the group or were you talking to me? Sorry.
Oh, I was going to yell, but I didn't want to actually yell in real
Oh, okay.
life.
you.
There is. It's not the elder. The elder's in eyesight, but they're not the closest one to you. They're a larger fish. It's hard to tell how old these creatures are just by looking at them, except for like the large ones are older and the tiny ones are children. A child actually answers you. Since territory shrank, shaking from the burial, whole bottom collapsed,
Ooh.
not sea. Just lots of shake.
Yeah, that was
I will-
adorable. I imagined that little merfolk child, and it was very cute.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Nanette. All right. I'll take out a hairpin that I imagine is kind of silver and shiny, and just kind of let it fall to the sea floor, kind of in their general direction. And thank you.
They'll wait for you to like step away a bit and then run forward and grab it and then
For sure.
swim back. Nasi. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say, do you think it might be pertinent to ask them if there's any particular areas of note within this place. Anything particularly interesting that, if we're given leave to explore, what should we look at?
I feel like Nanette's just
Not
like
translating.
going back and forth while you figure that out. Nasi, as you walk into this large building, it's actually, even though the outside is kind of like squarish, the inside is actually like circular. And the first thing you notice when you walk in is that, one, there's a bunch of phosphorescent algae like all over, giving off a slight light glow of like greens and light purples and yellows, and that their entire bottom, except for like a couple feet towards the walls, has completely collapsed and caved in, leading down into a deep, dark area. What you also see, just from a quick look around, is that directly from across where you walk in, there seems to be an altar with some kind of bowl on it. And completely like around the perimeter of this circular room, there are niches, ovular, and it looks like it's like they're in the walls all the way to the top as far as you can see, to the cone-shaped roof. And it looks like there are remains in there. Towards the bottom, it's very old, just like bones. But that's what you see. There are no other rooms.
And this entire area is filled with water.
Yes.
It's not like
everything is water, yes.
Yes. Okay. And he doesn't see any movement or anything like that?
You, with a cursory glance, you do not see anything.
Okay.
Hold on. Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, you don't see anything.
Yeah, if he doesn't see anything, he's gonna go back to the group and just kind of octopus shrug. All eight, yeah.
Nanette, were you gonna go back and play translator again?
Nanette is bored of conversation, and Nanette would prefer to keep on moving.
Well, let's head on in then.
Translator gives up.
Translating's hard work.
Nanette
Yeah.
came here thinking it would be an easy job, and I would just take a nap and wait.
What is primordial for? No.
It doesn't matter because you're an octopus. Are you all going in?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
I'll follow the group.
When we get in, I would when I assume I see the alcoves with the bodies, right?
Definitely. You don't see any full bodies towards the bottom, but there are definitely like fish bones and remains. Yeah.
Okay, I am reflexively going to cast Divine Sense. And just
Remind me which creatures. I know fae, elementals, undead, dragons.
yes, Celestial Fiend, Undead, which is specifically my concern. But,
You within your sense, you do not sense anything.
Okay.
Eva, I am absolutely putting Zombie Merfolk in my next game. Thank you for that idea.
Heck yeah.
Okay, so I will not be a part of that game, but enjoy.
That's fair. That's fair.
Have fun, players.
Yeah.
So yeah, you see exactly what I described to Nasi earlier. This circular
Perfect.
room with alcoves, niches in the walls, high up as you can see, an altar across, and a big ass hole in the floor.
It's not an undead hole, right?
No, it's just like
Just a hole.
It's just
okay.
It looks like the floor collapsed.
Sure.
And it's going down?
Yes.
I'm gonna test the ground as I walk towards it, and just kind of look over.
It's pitch black. You can only see so far as your 30 feet of human eyes can see.
Is there a just a rock or something nearby? Something
yeah.
easily? Okay. I'm
Definitely.
gonna pick one up, cast a light on it, and just drop it into the hole.
You watch it fall down, and it goes down for a while. It's hard to gauge exactly how much without doing math and physics, but maybe about 200 feet where you just see it glinting at the bottom.
And it stops
It
there?
stops. Yeah, it stops.
Okay.
There is a bottom.
Good for a
I'll
start.
point that out to everybody. It looks like we could reach it if we wanted to.
You won't take fall damage if you decide to go down.
Me included?
You will not take fall damage. You're
Okay,
in
thank
water.
Just hug the wall, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Nasi will sneak down. He'll kind of cling to the wall as he moves.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing while Nasi slowly makes their way down?
While he's doing that, I guess I could take some time to just do some general investigation around here, check the alcoves, just spend time poking around, see what I can find.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Clea would definitely look around. The hole seems a little scary and I don't like it, so I'm just gonna look to see if there's literally anything else that's interesting in this room.
Nanette?
I'm going to find the comfiest rock I can find and just sit and wait.
The comfiest rock will probably be towards there's actually a carved altar with some stairs leading up to it. Tylon, you are able to get the sense that the most recently deceased are towards the top. And it looks and there's some empty ones. It looks like this is just where they lay their dead to rest. Clea, what were you doing again?
I was looking for literally anything interesting in this room.
On the altar, there is a large bowl. It's obviously filled with water because you're underwater. But it's this big. It has waves etched onto the side. It's a silverish with maybe a slight yellowish to it as well. Nanette, this probably would have caught your eye too because it's shiny.
Yeah, this is pretty. I sort of kind of poke at it a little bit. I don't know.
As you touch it, please make a wisdom saving throw.
It's fine. Not very smart. It's fine. This one has been really not. Oh God. 6.
Aren't you a monk?
I have a +3 modifier to my wisdom. Yeah.
So you don't. As soon as you touch this, you don't really think about what you're doing, but
Nope.
you kind of grasp the edge, the sides of the bowl, right? And you just kind of put your face in it, but nothing else happens. You feel compelled to put your face in it.
Okay. Then I'm gonna put my face in it.
And after a couple seconds, if you can shake yourself out of it.
Huh.
Yeah? What you doing?
I don't know why, but I needed to put my face in this bowl of it. I'm not sure. It was pretty, so I touched it, and then I just went. That's all. I don't know.
Okay. You doing okay over there? You feel okay?
Maybe one of you from the university should look at it, because I don't. I mean, I'm just gonna back up a little.
Can I, in my years of random studies, does it seem to be anything?
I'll allow you to roll. This is obviously a magic item, but I'll let you roll an Arcana check.
Nat 20 and a 1, so 21.
Woo! So it looks like visually.
Liberal arts major.
Yeah. So you've never actually seen one of these, but you've seen like depictions in books and everything because you're a nerd who is still trying to figure out what they want to do with their college degree. It looks like a bowl of commanding water elementals, but it's not. There's some carvings that are different. You've never actually heard of an item like this, but just by like what happened with Clea, it's just like it's maybe slightly cursed, but it's nothing major. Like all she felt like she just had to put her face in it. Okay, it's a good thing she has a potion of water breathing.
I will relate that to Clea and anyone else in my sphere of hearing, or anyone who can hear me. That was.
Would I catch any of that?
Yeah. Well, how far do you go up? Because it might just be outside your range of hearing, but you can easily hear it when you come back down.
I would stay on the bottom level where we all are, just in case something happens down in the hole. You know, I don't want to be too far away.
Okay, yeah, you would know. You
sort of poke my head out of whatever, little nook or cranny I was digging in. I'm sorry, you found a bowl of what now?
It's like a bowl of commanding water elemental, right?
That's what it looks like, or at least it was modeled after it.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know what exactly it is, but
it made me want to put my face in it.
I don't recommend
over there as quick as I can.
I don't recommend doing that, but I mean, you do you.
What are you doing, Tylon?
I'll hold my
I'm
hand
not
out.
Gonna touch it.
Do you mind? Oh, you weren't holding it?
No, I just touched it, and then I put my face in it, and then that was it.
She touched it. I studied it from afar.
I'll pick it up.
Make a wisdom saving throw.
Where's my saving throw? 15.
You have the urge to put your face into the bowl, but you do not.
You see him kind of like get close, but then sort of pull away and set it down. Would you mind if we took a few minutes? I could probably figure out more about this thing.
I have nowhere to be.
I mean, it is really up to all of you. You have what, an hour?
24 hours.
24 hours.
Oh, that is much better. I thought it was much
less. All I need is about 10 minutes.
Sure.
So if I can, I'll start setting up the ritual to cast Identify.
Okay.
And go through that.
Nanette, you're just kind of chilling?
Yeah, I think I was chilling for a while, then I got bored. And now I'm going to be, I think Nasi said he was slinking down the hole. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be idly throwing pebbles towards where I think he is.
As you are...
So that they just like drift down.
As you're idly throwing pebbles, and as Tylon is working on this ritual, make me a perception check. You're muted.
That is a 17. Sorry, it's 11 plus 6.
So a 17, you said? So, you don't notice right away. You're just kind of like throwing these pebbles in the hole. Where you're seated is at like the altar, so you're directly across from the hole and like looking out the front door. You don't know when they got there, but you see an armored figure standing way outside in the middle of the street, pointing a crossbow at something in the doorway. It takes you a second to register because the crossbow bolt fires and seems to hit something right above the doorway. And before you can process it, all of you, even you, Nasi, as you are down there, feel an explosion. Nasi, make a strength saving throw as you are making your way down this hole.
Octopuses, rather, are not that strong. Um.
I'll give you advantage because you have 8 legs.
Okay. Okay, so that was. Oh God. Oh, it's a -3. Lovely. So that's an 8.
You lose grip on the wall. So you're just kind of like flailing around, but you're not like. There's some pebbles. They're not super big, but there are rocks falling from like the edge from the top. But the rest of you, especially you, Nanette, directly across from the entrance, the rocks from outside the door, just like from the building itself, fall in front of the entrance, and it is sealed.
Did the figure have legs?
Yes, they were wearing armor. It was really odd armor. You couldn't get the best look at it, but it does not match. It's
Well, there's a human outside. He has a crossbow.
Tylon, make a concentration check to see if you can keep your ritual going.
I'm sorry, Nanette, you're saying there's someone else down here with us?
And they were in armor. They were right out there.
Like my kind of armor, or like I point to my chainmail, I guess.
It wasn't chainmail.
Or like, okay.
It was like a breastplate.
Concentration, is that is a
Constitution saving throw?
Okay, that's what I thought. 13.
Yeah. You are able to keep concentration on your spell. You can continue if you would like to.
Sure. For now.
I'll say you have it. You were like 3/4 of the way through.
Okay. Yeah. I'll just be like, okay, and just
I'm in the zone.
concentrate faster if I can, you know.
But yeah, that's what you saw. Tylon, you're still working on your spell. Nasi, you lost his grip, but you're an octopus, so you can swim back. You probably just made it to the bottom as this happened. Like, or almost at the bottom.
I guess the octopus does have dark vision. As he's looking around, was anything disturbed down here by the explosion?
So as you were making your way down, what you see is the walls are mirrored like the temple burial chamber up top. There are more alcoves like all the way there around, and very similarly at the bottom, it looks like another mirror of the one up top. There is an altar. There's an actual like stone bedrock floor. On the bottom, there's no sand. Another altar with a bowl on it. And it looks like there is an entrance to this burial area as well.
Okay. So a bowl similar to the head dunking bowl.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I think if there's nowhere else to go, he's just gonna swim back up.
There was an entrance to this area. It looks like you could leave it.
An entrance to a deeper level or outside of?
So pretend you are up the one up top where you entered, the one that just got blown up. There's another similar doorway down there that is not blocked, like leading out of it.
Okay. Well, seeing that, then he'll swim back up and kind of gesture.
Tylon, your spell goes off, and it was identify. You said.
Yes.
So you know, based off your identify spell, that this bowl, it's not its actual name, but you would describe it as a bowl of water breathing. It just makes you want to breathe water by dunking your face into it.
Not muted.
Do you get the effects of water breathing, or is it just try to make you snort water
it
inside?
Makes you try to breathe water.
Oh boy.
Everyone say thank you to Mango.
Thank you, Mango.
Thanks, Mango.
It's such a stupid bowl. I love it. It's so dumb. I love it.
Oh, that's good.
I'll keep the bowl with me.
A bowl of
You're gonna
Water
take
breathing
this.
Full of drowning.
underwater.
Yeah, if I can, I want to, with a piece of my robe or something, so I don't actually touch it again. Put it in a storage slot.
Okay.
If you think about it, it's the perfect assassin tool.
Oh yeah.
Give it to your enemy and just find them face down in a.
Everything has a use, right?
But
So he'll finish up the spell, and if you look at him, he looks kind of confused for a moment after the spell fires off, and then you see him kind of just like shrug and awkwardly store the thing, and he gets up and says and mutters something about that being a waste of time, and then the past couple of minutes kick in, and he says, what's going on out here now?
There's a person in armor out there, shot a crossbow at the buildings. Nanette was really not paying attention.
they
And
blocked
Nanette
us
is
in
already-
here, essentially.
So clearly he wants a fight.
It was
and-
following us.
I mean, the people who are following us had armor, so it is quite possible that they came here to do this. I am going down the hole.
I'm gonna let her do that, but I would like to check the rocks blocking the door before I follow, just to make sure that there's no gaps, like I can't see through and like see who it was or how movable the rocks are or anything like that.
So the building seems to be made in general of like a solid like bedrock of the ocean bedrock, and the walls are actually pretty thick to compensate for like the blah blah blah
Supporting the
burials and everything like that. So a lot of rock fell down on top of it. Like you might be able to like take your time and like dig your way out, but it's pretty sealed. You don't really you see some like a little itty bitty bit of light, but not a lot.
Then I'll look to Clea and Talon and just say, I guess we're going down the hole.
Nasi, you make it back up by now.
If they hear that, they're going to grab some of the algae off of the wall. Does it still glow once it's detached?
Yeah.
It'll kind of deal that out. Tentacles in 4 ways.
I will absolutely take some of that.
I'll take the algae and sort of,
I'll cast light on my staff again, so I don't need any algae.
I'll
Drop.
sort of like try and put some on the end of my quarterstaff.
I'll
So
take
it looks
whatever
like
was dropped
Kaylin.
and just kind of like, yeah.
Talon, look, my quarterstaff looks like your staff now.
Yes, it does. That's fantastic.
Love the Clea's
About a
cosplay.
hole.
So sinking down into the deep pit hole thing.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
It takes several minutes for you to slowly sink your way down. Antonio, you get a little bit of a head start with your armor as it weighs you down. And
Leah might be a little bit slower because she instinctively wants to fly out of the hole, even knowing that she's in water. So
I'm going to try and grab on to some sort of piece of clothing or just even Antonia's armor and see if I can catch a ride down with her.
Yeah, as long
Sure.
as Antonio lets you, go for it.
I do. Yeah, that's fine. I will not resist.
Yeah, you easily get down, and as I said before, it seems to be a mirror of the one above. There's even a door, not an actual door, but like just an entrance. And there was another altar down there with another bowl on top of
Matching.
it.
Does it look the same?
Another bowl.
It looks similar, and I'm not going to make you roll again. This one actually is a bowl of commanding water elementals, but there is a large crack on the metal of it.
Ooh.
Mm.
I will. It's this one does command water elementals. I would bet on it, except I don't know how well it would work with this crack. I don't know as I would want to risk it.
How about that? We probably shouldn't be taking their things.
I mean, probably not. Although a little late for that now, I think.
Everyone looks at
Well,
Tylon.
here. How about this? I'll approach it and do a quick like Indiana Jones swap of the bowls.
Nothing happens.
Cool. And I'll take the cracked bowl.
Okay. As you leave this secondary lower burial chamber, you walk out into a large cavern. And unlike, it's very similar to the one on the surface, as in like in the lake. It is filled with water and there's actual buildings, but instead of like coral, it actually seems to be carved in the bedrock. It looks deserted. You don't see anything. What fishes you do see are more like the deep dwelling types of fish. So big eyes, some big teeth, but they scurry. You're bigger than them. It's looks like a deserted city.
I'm not saying this is kind of creepy or anything.
It's like
How-
really creepy though.
It's really creepy, right?
How big is this area? Like how much ground to cover is there?
It looks like that it mirrors the size of the lake from above, but
Okay.
You can see that where you would find actually, yeah, there is sand. You do see sand like slowly sloping in, as if this plane appeared, it just did a swap. Like you took a whole, like when you cut a cookie cutter, you just kind of take it out and like placed it right back in. So there's sand you can see.
Okay.
But yeah, there's some of the buildings like go right up to the surface, like the top of the cavern. Some are shorter. You see the sand. Not much light, so it's a good thing you took that phosphorescent algae.
Does this well, if it's dark, I don't know if I really be able to tell. I guess what I'll do is I'll take a minute to set up another alarm in the threshold that we just came out of from the hole,
Okay.
so that if whoever it is up there follows us down, I can at least get a notification if we're out in the middle of all this.
Are you ritual casting this, or are you hard casting? If you have it prepared.
I do have it. Well, no, I don't have it prepared for this day. No, we'll do a ritual. We'll do a
Okay.
ritual.
As Tylon is ritually casting alarm to give a heads up if someone follows, what are the rest of you doing?
Are there any noticeable buildings or maybe buildings that would stand out in particular in this city?
Basically, the ones that stand out the most are the ones that go up to the ceiling. There's maybe like 4 of them that you can see, kind of like in separate. It's circular, but like in the separate corners, quote unquote. Everything else is like half that size or smaller. But other than that, just the building behind you that you just left is the most prominent.
Can I reach any of the sand without going too far?
There's not a lot of sand. It's mostly bedrock, but there's some like dark sand. It's not a lot, but you can grab some.
Okay, I just throw it in my bag.
Okay.
I would like,
Nazis. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I would like to look for any signs, and this is not a environment I'm particularly familiar with, but any signs that anything might be nearby, like a thing, something that looks like it might have been disturbed at one point, or something that just looks, like
I'll let you decide
some
what
sort of
check
tracks.
you would like to do. Either a survival as you try to navigate on like what's off about this environment, or a perception or investigation.
I would like to do a survival check.
Okay.
I believe that is true. If I can find my stats. Yeah. Okay. What do I higher ones? Oh, I don't know. Oh, I rolled 2 because I was giving myself disadvantage because I'm not familiar with this territory. That's apparently what I was doing to
I
myself.
was gonna say you can roll 1. You don't need to give yourself disadvantage.
Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna roll again then because. All right. That would be a 26.
So, what you do notice is that every once in a while there are cracks on the ground. Maybe you're walking around a little bit away from, not super far from the group, but just to like maybe look between the buildings. And sometimes you see cracks on the ground, and they're not super big, but you see itty bitty like tendrils, like octopus tendrils, similar to what Nasi is right now. They're not large, but they're kind of creeping up from the bedrock. The biggest one is probably up to your hip.
That's pretty big. I relay what I have found to my friends. I don't know, but it seems like there is something here.
These are very clearly tentacles. It's not like seaweed, but are these like suction cuppy?
Yeah, suction cuppy.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you, Nasi, right now, but like
Looks
although
at
you're
himself.
kind of big too.
Nasi, Nanette, Antonia.
I'm going to just pull my sword out and have that ready. If we're not seeing any other merfolk or anything that looks actively friendly, no offense, Nasi, but I don't like the sound of ground tentacles.
Yeah, I think Nasi's going to do just a 60-foot lap, just kind of make one big loop and see if there's anything to see, staying out of reach of ground tentacles.
Make a perception check as you make a sweep.
16.
So as you make a sweep, similar to the coral buildings up above, you do see that the buildings don't actually have doors. They just have archways for windows and for doors. How high up are you swimming?
I guess what he's going for is the equivalent of a bird's eye view. Trying to kind of take a look at the tops of the buildings and just get a once again, I guess, a lay of the lake, as one of our watchers suggested.
So, what you see is a bunch of buildings. You do see intermittently placed throughout the entire thing. These tentacles, the tentacles, and then out of the, like, as you're about to go back to the group, at the very end of your sweep, you see you see a glint of light from one of the large buildings that is up at the top.
I think if they see that, it's gonna go towards it.
Okay. You go up to this building, and it's the one that reaches to the top, so it connects. And you slide through the window. You see a crack in the ceiling, and you see light.
Is it like daylight, or is it?
It is daylight.
More unnatural?
It's daylight.
Okay. Pop his octopus head out and just see what's on the other side.
Oh yeah, octopuses can do that. Octopuses can just slowly creep through like this big of a hole. It takes time. It's the quote unquote surface. It's the lake.
Okay, it's not like he popped into another world, but it's very familiar.
Yes.
Okay.
It looks like it's on the outskirts, closer towards like the end of the lake, and you kind of looks like you popped up in an empty house. You see seaweed woven pillows and stuff like that.
Okay. And like I said, this was a very small hole that he popped through.
Yeah, but as you go through it, some of the stone like shifts, like you broke some of it off
Okay.
as you were trying to squeeze your way through.
Okay. And is the house, I guess that he's now surfaced into is surface. It's not underwater.
It's underwater. Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm sorry. It's
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's all in the lake.
Gotcha. Okay. We were kind of in like a subterranean level. This is okay.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. With I don't think they're gonna go any further, so they'll return back to the group and kind of do the follow me sort of thing.
How long does your wild shape last?
I think that is actually a very good question.
Is it like half your druid level, or hours equal half your druid level, or what?
You revert to your form after 2 hours.
Okay, I would say just with searching around, you're maybe at least the hour and a half mark.
Okay. I think if they sense that that's coming close, they'll just revert at will, and once again, as lizard folk, try to, I guess, purse their lizardy lips and try to down the water breathing potion.
You're doing that now?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll try to do that now.
Okay, yeah, I would say you lose a little bit, so you might not get the full 24 hours, but you can do it.
Okay.
So Nasi has returned, downed some potion. What do you tell him?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot I can talk now. It's been a while, man. Yeah, crazy stuff, right?
Well, welcome back.
Thank you. Nanette, stop throwing rocks at me.
Not throw rocks.
I found an exit, I suppose. It is in far building. I swam up into it looked like someone's home. So
Was
poor city
someone
planning, I guess.
there?
I did not see anyone.
Perhaps we could get the drop on whoever was in the armor? No?
They did try to block us in, yes.
It would be good. Plus, who does not want a new piece of armor?
I don't need it, but you know, if you think it's necessary, although yeah, and I don't like that they shot a crossbow at a thing and then trapped us. It was really mean, and it was not very nice. I mean, we should.
Oh yeah,
That was
it was so mean, and think they could be hurting the civilians. We need to go up there and stop them.
but we don't think that they're the problem that I don't know, what are we calling them? Fish people?
The merfolk.
Merfolk.
That makes sense. I guess.
Merfolk.
Merfolk.
Fish people. Either way.
Merfolk. But that's not what they were concerned about, right? Like there's something else probably also not good around, right?
Little bit of column A, little bit of column B. All our
May-
problems.
Maybe
Did anyone
columns.
see Did anyone see anything down there?
Well, there was the
I mean, I saw like some ground tentacle-y things or evidence of things.
Yes, has anyone poked the tentacles to see if they do anything, or are they just...
No. I learned my lesson with the bull to not touch things.
How far away are the tentacles?
They're intermittently placed throughout the entire area.
In theory, could I get within 30 feet of one?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna do that and then throw one of the Ikawas at it.
So you have disadvantage on. Oh no, it's kind of like a javelin. You can, you can just do it.
It doesn't have a big range anyway.
Yeah, it has a crap range.
17
You
plus
hit.
8, that
You hit.
is. Yeah.
It just slices through it. If you were aiming for a small one, it just kind of like skewers it.
Yeah. Do you want me to roll damage or?
Don't worry.
Nah.
But there's a lot of them. If you did that, it'd be a while. It'd be like cleaning up an infestation.
Well,
But
I
the
was
rest
more
don't
checking to
react.
see, if the rest reacted or not.
Yes.
Oh no.
You hear another vibration as something shudders, and the entire cavern shakes.
It was only a little tentacle.
I don't think that liked that very much, whatever that thing is.
I think that's our column B. Or
What
column
happened to just poke it? You just.
I did poke it with the pointy end.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Was it
Oh,
a singular
no, she's
sort of
wrong.
rumble?
There was one
Or was
big
it
one.
ongoing?
It was one big one, and then smaller ones as it kind of like settled.
Okay.
And it was all around us?
Yes. Well, specifically beneath you.
Okay.
Sure, of course.
But like all around us, under us, not like
Yes.
from one specific point. Okay.
Yes.
Huh, indeed.
So motion to vote. Do we go up or do we go down?
Depends what you want to deal with. Depends how much longer your water breathing potions last.
21-ish.
About 22 hours.
22.
Yeah, I'll say 22.
You have to go up inevitably.
So our ultimate goal is to just investigate, right? And maybe if we see anything interesting, make a note of it or take it back if we can. But we also told the merfolk that we would maybe look into whatever big, bad, scary thing, right?
Right.
Which seems like it would maybe be down.
But they're getting attacked. Well, or the other folk are in the town right now.
But
Right?
so if Nasi, if we go up where you were, 2 questions. One, can someone perhaps get up there without swimming? Is there like a route? Maybe. And does it look like we could get back to the Mer people's village through there?
I imagine that the house I came up into perhaps was a mer-person house. As far as a route without swimming, I can swim, and you can hold on.
That would be so helpful. Thank you.
And Antonia, you can swim. It's just uncomfortable.
Oh, okay. I thought I was too heavy. Okay.
No, you can swim. It's rough.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just
okay.
rough.
Okay. That's fine.
You have
Okay
like one of those old diver suits on.
So you're trying to go back up to where Nasi slipped through.
Or we could go down. You might be right about helping them with the bigger problem.
Let's just see
Beyond
what's
any
down
of
there.
that, beyond any of that, I think we're going to find the answer as to why this place is here at all, deeper within.
Oh, right. That's what we're here to do in the first place, huh?
Yeah.
That makes sense to Nanette.
But it makes such like big vibrations, whatever it is.
But maybe we can stop the vibrations.
Okay, I mean,
Roll.
Maybe.
No, you would have noticed this, Clea. There really wasn't anywhere down, you know?
oh, okay.
Yeah, like when you were like doing that quick look, and also same for you, Nasi, there really wasn't anywhere down that you saw. It looks like all the houses, just from your casual glance, were like surface, like houses in Texas. They don't have basements.
There's nowhere down to go, so... Sorry, my internet's not working very well. Stand by.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is this as low as this place goes, Mayor?
Yeah,
Okay.
that you can tell. Yeah.
That we can tell anyway. Yeah.
So there's up, there's investigating the buildings, or there's poking more tentacles, which seems
There's
rude.
so many of them.
There's so many.
Yeah,
of
and there's a
them.
lot.
Yeah.
And it every time we do it, it makes I mean, the one time that Nanette did it, it was like shuddery and stuff.
Yes.
So we just watch our step.
I wonder
Yeah.
why it shuddered before.
Don't know.
You don't know.
Maybe I don't know. I was gonna say maybe some of the merfolk poked it, but I don't think there's any merfolk down here.
You haven't
Sure
seen
doesn't
anything.
seem that way.
Well, I say we go. I mean, I don't know why anybody listens to me, but I say we go and help them up there with the people who are shooting crossbows at them. That's just my opinion.
They were
No,
shooting
no.
at us, though, weren't they? I mean, they were blocking us in.
You
Oh,
don't
yeah,
know
that
what's
too.
you don't know what's going on up there, and Nasi didn't stick around.
Yeah, I think you'll make a lot of sense. Let's go back up.
I do.
Natural born leader.
Thank you.
Nanette was getting tired of leading anyways.
You're so good at it, Lynette.
No. You lead. You lead, I will follow.
Okay.
So,
Good teamwork, you two.
So with some, you go back up to where Nasi saw the light, and it takes a little bit of poking and prodding, but you're able to pry enough of the ground. It seems like right here, for some reason, is very brittle, and you're able to pry a hole big enough for. Actually, Nasi's probably the bulkiest until Nasi can get through.
Very strong.
Yes, exactly.
I will say that on their way, Nasi does take a short step to the side and grabs the severed tentacle and the Yukawa,
Okay.
and
That's
yeah,
fine.
returns the Yukawa to Nanette, and then also kind of idly munches on the bottom of the tentacle.
It tastes like rotten fish.
He's honestly had worse.
Okay, cool. I should have figured.
It's calamari.
So, you guys squeeze through. You're on like the outskirts of the little area, the living areas. You can see the burial chamber off in the center of the city. Yeah, and you see some merfolk cowering in some of their homes if you peek in.
Can I'd like to see if can we hear anything or see like what direction they're trying to hide from?
You don't hear anything. Well, you don't hear any speaking, but you hear kind of like a consistent beat, kind of like maybe like a drum off in the direction of the burial area.
Nanette, could you ask them what they're frightened of?
What is happening?
As you come back up to them, it's one you saw earlier. They have a bright yellow like spot on their forehead, and they kind of like cower from you as you come back up to them, like big shiny, like, and then they point to Antonia. Pointed.
I put my sword away.
Oh yeah.
Just
waved big stick around, also shiny. Scary. You're muted.
Where?
They motion towards the burial area, the burial chamber.
And is this the caved in portion they're pointing to, or?
Just in the general direction of.
Okay, I'm gonna start swimming that way.
I'll follow.
I don't like that they're scaring them, and so I follow.
same.
Awkwardness.
Yeah.
Nasi.
Yeah.
As you go up towards the this burial area that now has a caved-in entrance of all this dark blue rock that it's made out of, you see an armored person casually sitting on some coral with a large pike at their side. Standing next to them, like right behind them, you see also it is an armored creature. Made out of wood and metal, just like casually banging on a drum. Neither seem to notice you. The one sitting down is kind of like, you can't see what they're saying because they have a mask on their face. This person has bright silver armor that looks to be intricately engraved. Their shield, their shin guards are a coppery oxidated copper, so it's like got a blue tint to it. And one pauldron is black. It's really mismatched. And they're like looking at their companion and like maybe they're probably saying something because they're not looking anywhere else. And the other creature person is just nodding as they bang on the drum. Especially Nasi, you may roll a history check. If anyone else would like to roll a history check, you may go for it.
It was a nat 20.
That one. So 5 total.
So it's 18 history check.
Clea? No? Okay. What did Nanette get?
I didn't roll.
Oh, okay, that's fine. So Tylon and Nasi, you know who this is, for completely different reasons. This person is named, people call them Jekyll. They are known for scavenging and stealing and taking artifacts or whatever they find useful or cool or powerful from people. They are often like the scourge of the university because on more than one occasion they have ambushed people coming back from expeditions and taken their stuff. Nasi, you also know them for that general, what they generally do. Maybe not specifically related to the university, but you definitely have heard their name around some desert towns, as they sell stuff that they don't need. They are known for being ruthless.
Oh, these guys suck.
You know that their companion is also something that is, they're not really common, but people have been calling them warforged. They're like sentient constructs.
Is the drum recognizable in any way?
It looks like a normal just drum.
Okay.
Yeah. They haven't noticed you.
Well, flat out, if these guys are here, it's bad news. Everybody done for killing them? Put your hands in. 1, 2, 3, kill them.
Both paws immediately up.
Wait, so they would hurt the merfolk?
These guys are bad news.
I mean, my hand's obviously up, just in like a tell me more sort of.
Cody is down for murder. It's
They're hurting. They're scaring our new friends, and I don't like them.
And they're
We
after
need
the
to
same
make them-
things as us, but for the wrong reasons.
Basically, for personal gain instead of knowledge.
Ooh.
Well, if Nasi, you say they're bad news, and Tylon, you say they're bad news, then they must be bad news, and they must die.
Oh,
I was, yeah, all right. That's not exactly what I was going to say, but I'm with you. I'm with you.
Okay, so who do we hit first?
And I
The big
ready
one?
my
The little one?
equipment.
Neither
So
of them are little.
I actually have
Littler
plan
one?
of attack.
Was that Nasi?
I actually have plan of attack.
Yeah.
I can turn into giant seahorse, and Antonia rides on me as I ram into them, and she basically goes full on night slashing as we go.
I love this.
Stabbing, not slashing.
You're,
right?
Yes,
you're
yes,
jousting. Joust.
Yes.
I have spear if you want. I can't use it as giant seahorse because no thumbs.
I don't think I'm proficient with a spear, am I?
You should be. You're a paladin.
Yes.
Yeah, martial weapons. Yeah.
Yes. I will use that.
How quiet are y'all being?
Pretty quiet.
Okay.
Not loud.
Super duper quiet.
They're banging a drum. They haven't heard anything.
Clea's so quiet.
All right, just to get the preemptive out of the way, let's roll initiative.
Okie dokie.
And seahorse is
Oh
large,
my
so
God,
if two
really?
people want to ride,
Above a 20? 15 to 19?
18.
18 for Nasi? Tylon, what'd you get?
13.
Antonia.
4.
And, Nanette.
10.
10? Okay.
You didn't ask for mine.
And Clea.
So fun story. I have a +6 to my initiative.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I rolled a 7. I mean, my total initiative is 7.
Jesus. Oh, jeez. Oh, gosh.
We're not used to the water.
All right.
Nope.
Quick refresher on underwater combat, right? If you do not
Yes.
have a swimming speed, you have disadvantage on the attack roll unless the weapon is a dagger, javelin, short sword, spear, or trident. A ranged weapon attack automatically misses beyond its normal range. Even against a target within normal range, the attack roll has disadvantage unless it is a crossbow, a net, or a weapon that is thrown like a javelin. Obviously, fire damage is resistant. Everybody is resistant to fire damage. So yeah, unless you're wielding one of those weapons or have a swim speed, you got disadvantage on the attack roll.
Cool.
Are magic attacks included in that?
I will say no.
Yay.
Okay.
I'll say no. But, you still have to be within range, obviously.
Right.
Okay. Surprise round. They don't notice you because their passive perception sucks. Bad. It's a 9. So I'm assuming Nasi and Antonia are going in for the jousting kill. Are you going to set up where you guys are or anything else before you go into attack mode?
Oh, you're muted.
I shouldn't be.
I'm sorry, thank you.
Oh, okay.
I do
Sorry.
actually want to cast silence over the targets first.
Are you in range?
It's the range for silence. I guess how far are we from them? That's
How far do you want to be from them?
answer every question with a question. I don't have silence pulled out. Hold up.
Antonia is going to defer to Nasi's judgment in terms of distance and all that.
Yeah, it has a range of 120 feet.
Okay. That's fine.
And we will be, I guess, starting up for the attack.
Are you doing silence before you do attacks and get into...
Yes, yeah, he's going to cast silence before the wild shape. So I assume the surprise round will be silence, and then since probably top of the order, wild shape, and go from there.
Okay. How do I do this? As soon as you cast silence, they look around at each other and realize that the sound of the drum is no longer going.
Oh.
And they are now looking around. I will still let everyone do their surprise round, whatever they decide to do, but it's not as surprising because they now know something is off.
How many feet away were they again?
Were you doing your full 120 feet distance?
Uh,
Oh, for the spell, the silent spell, Nasi.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah, depending on how close they were, and I think he was going to set up 40 feet away. So Nasi is at least 40 feet away at this point.
I'll let you all be within 40 feet. Tylon. What are you doing for your surprise action?
Oh man. Is anybody else sort of under armored? Anybody need any additional protection? Okay. Then
I mean, thank you, but
You're well protected.
pretty okay.
Just so everyone knows, make sure you know what you're doing when your turn is coming up, so we can keep things going smoothly.
So I'm gonna take a moment to cast Blur
On yourself?
on myself.
Perfect.
So you'll see me sort of concentrate on my staff for a moment, and then I sort of split into 3 hazy, shuddering images of myself, and you can't really tell where I am.
Nanette.
all right, so since we're 40 feet away, I have 40 feet natural movement speed.
Okay.
So I will rush up to them. Do we have names for each? So I know Jackal and then the other one Hyde.
Jekyll, no, you don't know their name. You can call them
Okay.
the Warforged.
Okay. I will go up to Jekyll then, and I'm just gonna try and punch him.
Go for it.
So I have disadvantage because it's not a dagger or javelin.
That is correct.
All right. Let's see, and I have a +8 to hit.
Good.
Yeah, +8. So that is a 18.
Your fist, you make contact, but they are well armored and saw you coming. You don't seem to do any damage.
That is fair.
Clea.
Oh, I have one more thing.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I'm going to burn a key point.
Okay.
To take the dodge action.
All right, dodge action. They are also, as you are closer, they have a hood and cloak around them. The hood is pulled over their head. Clea.
Alrighty. I'm going to get only within 10 feet of that, or I'm going to move up 10 feet so that they are within 30 feet. Mm-hmm. And Clea does she holds out her hands and does this kind of movement like that, and spending 2 key points, I cast Fist of Unbroken Air at whichever one that Nanette isn't attacking or isn't punching.
The Warforged.
The Warforged. And they have to make. Ooh. Wait a minute. So it's a Warforged and then not a Warforged?
Yes. You don't know what race they are, but it is.
Do they look really strong?
The Warforged?
The one who's not either of them.
The armored Jekyll one looks strong.
Okay. The Warforged then. I will do this with the Warforged. He has to make a strength saving throw. 14.
Okay. What happens when they fail?
Perfect. This looks super, super cool under the water because this gust of air, compressed air, sort of pushes its way through the water, and it's so heavy, and it slams into him. And where's my other one? Last one there. Okay, and he takes 10 points of damage.
Yes, some of the components made out of it, like some of the wood, is broken off as you push them back. Antonia.
And he gets knocked prone.
They are prone.
Nice. I'm going to coordinate with Nasi as to where we're headed. I would like to attack Jekyll, if sounds like.
Because
I want to get confirmation from him that.
Yeah, do you want ready an attack? And then...
Yep, I'm going to cast magic weapon on my new spear. Just wrap my hand around it and have it glow in a quick golden sheen as the spell settles in. And then, yeah, I'm a.
Get ready. You're gonna prepare your action.
Yep.
Nasi.
Nasi is going to wild shape into a giant seahorse, and
I'll say you can mount Nasi, Antonia.
Thank you. Yes.
like the sea elves of old, will charge, which is something the seahorse can do.
Oh wow.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
So yeah, the seahorse is very brightly colored and it has a very familiar blue frill that Nasi sports himself. And yeah, charge forward towards I guess who's Ninette engaged with Jekyll and
The Warforged is prone.
okay, then charge towards Jekyll. Jekyll's still up.
Make your
So
attack. Or what does charge do? Do you get anything else out of it?
yeah, it is an attack and it does bonus damage since it's 20 feet or more of movement.
All right.
Yes.
Roll at the same time. Get your attack rolls, Antonia. Since you are charging, I'm going to say you're not going to get your second attack because you're like trying to spear them.
So that's a 21 for me.
You hit.
Okay. So
It's 25.
You hit.
26 for me.
You hit.
it's 11 points of damage.
And
they have to succeed on a DC 11 strength saving throw or also be knocked prone.
6 damage from me.
6, 11, and 6.
Mhm.
So 17. Okay.
Yes.
They grab the spear, Antonia, and they kind of skid back a couple feet as you charge into them, Nasi, but they are not knocked prone.
Okay.
It is their turn, unless you have something you can do as a bonus action. You are in an area of silence, by the way. So any spells that require a vocal component, you cannot do.
Yeah, I think I'm actually going to drop the
You're gonna drop
silence.
It? Okay.
Yeah, it was just a surprise sort of thing. So at this point, it's only hindering.
Okay, so it is their turn. Okay. You could see their eyes from behind their mask, and they're like, you just got a good hit on them, you two. And they look right at you, Antonia, and they bark out a word. It's just like a divine. It says they say perish, and they grab their great sword and attack you with it. Antonia, does a 21 hit you?
It does hit me.
So a 21, and as their sword lands on top of you, it kind of glints, but not with light. It's like glints with a darkness, very reminiscent of your magic.
Don't like that.
No, I don't like that. I have to figure out the math, please. You take 9. Oh, not that much. I'm sorry. They do something else as well. And as it hits you, you feel a searing pain as their sword connects. I'm sorry, I can't do math at all.
Mood.
I know, right? Do you have any resistances?
You can't poison me, but that's about it. I'm sorry, you can't disease me. That's about it.
As their sword lands on top of you, you take 21 points of damage, and 3 fire damage as their blade erupts in flame. It looks like it would have done more, but you're underwater, so.
So sorry, 21 points, and then 3, 5.
Yeah,
What was
3 fire damage. And then he removes his sword and goes to attack you, Nasi. 16 on the die.
That is just equal with. Well, actually, no. Sorry, it's seahorse armor. Yes, that does hit.
Yes.
I'm going to choke on the underwater air apparently, and as a reaction,
Impose disadvantage.
exactly.
Perfect.
Yes.
It still hits. The second roll was a nat 20.
Not my seahorse, you don't.
And they hit you.
Nay. Okay.
6. And also the it flashes again their sword as they hit you really hard.
Okay.
You take 35 points of damage as he hits you with his sword.
All right. Nasi is going to revert to lizard form then.
Tylon, it's your turn. Nanette, you're on deck.
I'm muted, sorry. Those are big damn hits. So I'm going to. Is the Warforged still prone? He was knocked prone, right?
Yes.
Okay, so Jekyll is standing. You said we're 40 feet away ish?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to start out and cast Frostbite on Jekyll.
I think it's a Constitution saving throw.
Yes.
17 on the die. Makes it.
Yes, he does.
Would you like to move or bonus actions?
I guess. Well, I'm not really in melee range of them as it is, so I'll just kind of stay close to my allies without, getting in the middle of the fray.
Okay.
For now.
Nanette.
All right. I'm gonna take another attack at him with my fists, but I am going to use the divine. I think it's called divine favor. Favor of the gods. Sorry. Once per short rest, if I fail a saving throw or miss with an attack roll, I can roll 2d4 and add it to the total, possibly changing the outcome. So
Okay.
I'm potentially going to be using that.
Go for it.
All right. That is a 12 plus 2d4. That is a 18.
No, it does not hit. This man is well armored, even if it does not match.
Oof. All right. I don't think I will do anything else then. Would it be a free action to draw my Yikola?
Yeah. You can draw
Okay.
your Yikola.
I'll do that then.
Clea. You're muted.
Right.
You muted yourself again.
Dang it! Why do I keep doing that? Okay, I am going to move up the rest of the 30 feet. And is the Warforged still
Prone.
down?
Yes.
Great. So, perfect. I am going to hit him with my... Actually, and by hit him, I mean I'm going to kick him.
Like Secretary Birds do.
Like Secretary Birds do. Stomp on him like he's a dang snake.
So it's going to be a straight roll because...
It is, because... Yup. It is indeed a straight roll. Which is great, because that was an 11 plus 8, so 19?
This
To
boy
hit?
is, it was 19 you said?
Yes.
Yes, you hit.
Hooray! So that is... I can roll. Oh, that's not bad. That's 9 points of damage.
Okay.
And then I will spend a... Wait, I get... How many
2 attacks, I
for this?
think.
I get 2 attacks? Ooh, I do. Don't I? Yes, I do. Wait. After you take, you can spend... Well, I can spend. Sorry, I haven't played a monk before in a long
You can
time.
spend a key point. You can do a bonus action to do 1 attack, or a key point to do flurry of blows for 2 extra.
I'm going to do a key point to do flurry of blows.
Okay.
Clearly. I'll just roll both of those right now. Yoop. Oh, okay, yeah, sure. That's a 15 plus 8 and a 19 natural 19 plus 8.
Both hit.
Great. And oh yeah, all right. 11 points of damage and 10 points of damage for those.
How do you down the Warforged?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm just stomping on the guy's face like he's a snake, because that's what I'm good at.
Those
like
legs for
the,
days.
the legs for days and the giant talons on the ends of them, like just do a lot of raking damage down his body. And there's a lot of like wing flapping as this is happening too. So you just kind of get this like that face.
It's kind of terrifying.
Yeah. The sweet, sweet Clea has turned into a murder bird right before your very eyes.
Antonia. Nasi, you're on deck.
Trying not to be distracted by my friend's show of violence. I'm going to first of all ask if I need to do a concentration. Was that a Constitution saving throw to see if I'm still focused on my
On your, what was it?
weapon?
Oh yeah, Constitution saving throw equal to the half the damage you took, or 10, whichever is higher.
Oh wait. Oh, half the damage. Oh, thank God.
Half the damage you took.
So 20, but I took 24, didn't I?
DC 12. 24 damage. The DC is 12.
Oh, and I have 20, so.
Yep, you're good. You are able to keep your magic weapon.
Okay. And is he still holding on to my spear?
Not mechanically, but yes.
Okay. Then I'll pull it out of his hand, apparently. I'm going to attack him again, I think, because I'm mad and I just want to stab him. Which is going to be 27.
27 hits.
28.
28 hits. Damn girl. Paladin
big
fight.
Mad.
Paladin
big
fight.
Mad. And then 6, 10, 11. But I'm also going to divine smite him.
Do the smiting.
And that's what, 2d8? So wait, I said 11, right?
Yes, 11
plus. And then 5. And then 4.
5 and 4, you said?
5 and 4. But I'm super big mad. And I don't want to be here anymore. This is not a good time. So if I do it at second level,
an extra
that's
D8.
Another D8, right?
Yes. As someone who
6.
just smited you guys.
Yeah. You're going to make me do all that math, right?
What was your roll on the die? I have 20 damage so
20.
far.
Okay, because it's 26. It's 11, 5, 4, and 6.
26.
And behind my shield, I'm going to flip him off.
Good.
Because... God damn it.
He is looking, and he glares at you, and he puts his hands on his chest, and you see his wounds completely, not completely, but they do knit up. almost completely, actually. And they glance over at their warp-forged pal, see them shake their head a bit, and yeet. They are gone. They flee. They were not expecting. They were hoping something else would happen. Maybe drown. I don't know. And they swim it ridiculously fast. If you two want, whoever's nearby, if you want to grab an attack of op.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Yes.
gonna throw my net and reduce that movement to 0.
Oh.
Nasi's going fishing.
Yes.
Yeah, Nasi.
And you,
All right. Let's see.
Yeah,
Yickle
So
Wah.
opportunity
I'm
attack.
done.
And as they were running away, they did bark in order. They barked a spell.
Okay. Well,
Let's
any other
see.
attacks of reaction attacks will
Yeah.
or attacks of opportunity will have advantage.
Ooh, that is it. I'm glad we have advantage.
Hmm.
Because it's
Same.
a nat 20.
Dang.
Mine's a
Oh,
dirty
boy.
20.
So the nat 20 hits, dirty 20 does not.
All right. I think I only do 1d8. I've never used a Yickle. Yep.
Nasi, what you said you were throwing the net?
Yes, that's I guess the reaction attack.
So you will do an attack roll
Okay.
to throw it on them.
What is the modifier for a net?
Mm.
I guess it's range, so it's dex.
Yeah, it's a ranged attack.
So 22.
It looks like you're about to miss him. There is a strange, like, glittering shield speckled with black that surrounds him, but it catches on that dark pauldron that he has, and it snags him.
That's what we get for mismatched armor. Can't play World of Warcraft that way.
So your other attacks, the dirty 20 did not hit, but your nat 20.
14 damage.
Nice. Tylon.
Do I get a main turn since that was a attack of opportunity?
Yes. Well, it was you just.
Or is Tylon next? I can't remember. Sorry.
Yeah. Did I skip you?
Maybe.
I think I skipped.
Turn 1, you charged. Turn 2, I
Yeah, I think
don't
I
think
skipped
you
you.
did
Sorry.
anything.
Take your turn, Nasi.
It's all good. I think let's see. That was going to be the main thing, but if he turned to run, that was going to be okay. I think what Nasi's going to do then is take a swipe with the. No, that's what he'll do. He will cast Cure Wounds on Antonia, and
Bless.
yeah, his Cure Wounds. Has a spell cards. Okay, so it's 1d8. So that is 12 points back to Antonio.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then to heal himself in some way, he is going to use Hungry Jaws as a bonus action, and he is going to effectively pounce on Jekyll and take a little nibble.
Do it. Freaking do it.
Okay, so that was a nat 20.
Oh my god! Do it up!
And so that will be 4 points of piercing damage as he takes a bite, and he also gains temporary hit points equal to 2. So he's got two bonus hit points from having a little snack. A little battle snack. It's some apple slices, some chunk of paladin.
Tylon.
So the net worked, and he's still just hanging out here.
Yeah, he is restrained essentially.
Okay.
Or he could still get. He has a potential to get out, but he is currently held onto.
Yes,
Right.
It's his action. Yeah.
If I can tell, how hurt does he look?
He looks pretty healthy.
Pretty healthy.
Tasted healthy.
Okay. I'll swim within 20 feet of him and hold my staff out, and I'll cast Witch Bolt.
Go for it.
Where's my dice?
Advantage for being restrained.
Okay. Oh, and this drops my blur because it's another concentration spell.
Gotcha.
So you see Tylan sort of coalesce and then shoot some lightning. That is a 17 to hit.
You miss. It goes wide as he's struggling against the net, and it flies past.
Bummer.
In the net.
Oh, I'm sorry. You said I had advantage on that?
Oh, yeah, you had advantage.
Hey, let me do one more. Much better. 23.
Oh, yeah, that hits now.
Okay. So 12 lightning damage.
He jolts and shakes.
Good.
Now it's Nanette.
All right, and how far away did he get before we got him with the net, or was it almost immediate?
It was immediate.
Okay. Knowing that he's going to run that way, I'm going to circle around, so I'm still not leaving his attack of opportunity, but I'm getting in between him and clean exit. And I'm going to hit him with my Yikawa, because I think that's all I can hit him with.
Do it.
And that's with advantage, correct?
Correct.
That is a 21.
You hit.
Awesome. And I will, as a bonus action, also use Green Flame Blade.
I want to know what
I think I can do that, right?
We said you could do it with your fists.
You're right.
What does it look like? Explain this Green Flame Blade.
Oh, yeah. So I stab with the Yikawa, and the edges of the jagged stone spear kind of light with a luminescent, ethereal, light green emerald glow as flames lick off of an unnatural sense rather than a heated sense. And she stabs. Less exciting stuff.
What's that damage?
That is total damage. For the attack itself with the Yikawa is 1d8 plus 5, so that's 9 damage.
Okay.
And then with the Green Flame Blade, I had what? Oh, another 1d8. Awesome. So that's 2 damage because it's halved underwater.
Okay. Clea.
All right. Seeing how well stopping his friend worked, it's his turn now. So gonna try and hit him. This is a straight roll, yes. He's fantastic. If I'm paying attention, which oh, absolutely not. Would be a natural one.
No, sorry. But you have 2 attacks, right?
I have a bonus action attack, but also I can spend a key point and try and hit him. Do 2 more attacks with flurry of blows.
Do it.
Oh, goody! That's much better.
What'd you get?
So one of them is a 13 plus 8, which I believe, because I can't math, is a 21.
Hits?
No, 20. Yes, 21.
It hits.
Perfect. And the other is a natural 20.
Ooh, do up that damage.
Yeah. So, and I totally missed this on the other times that other people got. Do you double damage or do you roll twice for your nats?
I haven't come on to a decision, but let's do 1 at max damage, 1 you roll. So,
okay.
So you don't roll 2
I like
ones.
Perfect. Oh, that's so nice. I like that version. Okay, so for the one that isn't the natural, that would be 8 points of damage.
Okay.
And then the one for max, and then for the natural, that would be 11 plus. It's a good thing you did that because that was a 1. 11, 12. So what did I say? 8 plus 12. 20 points of damage.
Beautiful. He's looking really rough.
Yeah. And now I think, if I remember correctly, I still get the bonus action hit. Is that true? Because the key point is different than a bonus action.
It uses your bonus action.
It does use my
Yes.
bonus action. Okay, great. Perfect.
Unless you want to move.
The wings just go up real wide, like, come at me, bro, is what that is.
Antonia.
How
He's looking
He's
rough.
generally rough?
Really rough.
I am going to. Am I still with Nasi? Okay.
Like Nasi kind of like threw the net over to keep him from running, and then he's kind of just been. Everyone just kind of swarmed him.
But Nasi is not a seahorse anymore, right?
No, Nasi's not a
No.
seahorse anymore.
Right. So okay, so I can move. I'm going to back up a bit. And I'm going to lose my spell list. I'm going to drop my magic weapon, and I'm going to instead bless the 3 closest.
That'll be Nanette, Clea, and Nasi, because Tylon is back. So
Yeah.
you all get 1d4 added to your rolls. And I think saving throws is 2.
Yes.
Anything else?
I think since that's concentration, I think that's all I can do. That and backing up.
Nasi.
Oh,
what?
no, wait, no. Sorry. As a bonus action, I would also like to ward. Man, I just feel like Clea's been kind of up in his face. I'm going to ward Clea if I can do both.
What is ward?
It's not what it's called. It's called Sanctuary.
So you can't cast 2 first level spells or higher in one turn.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
so then no, I'm good.
Okay. Nasi.
Okay. So he's still bound by the net, right?
Oh yes, he is.
Okay. Then Nasi is going to. I guess he'll use Thorn Whip then.
Do it.
All right. So Thorn Whip. So that is a melee attack, if I remember right. Yes. Okay. Oh. Manage. All right. That is a 21.
You hit.
Okay. So that's going to be 2d6, and it does say I can pull them 10 feet closer, but
they're right
I
there.
figure, yeah, we're all on the grill. So that's 9 points of damage.
They look really rough, like bad. So I have to use my action to get out of the net.
Yes, and it shouldn't be too hard for like this. It's DC 10 strength check, or I think they can still attack, and they can deal 5 slashing damage with an AC of 10.
Yeah, so he's gonna take his sword and just kind of like wipe at it. Easy. It completely crumbles beneath his thing.
My favorite nymph.
And he's gonna try and flee again. So if you want to get your attacks of op.
Learned nothing from the first time.
Yeah, I'll take that opportunity.
You move back.
I will take it.
I will. But now that he's no longer prone or covered by the net, these are at disadvantage again.
They're just at regular.
Well,
unless you're using a weapon.
Mine's at regular, yeah, if it's like a javelin or a dagger or an underwater combat. If it's unarmed.
Didn't you move back, Antonia?
Yeah, but I can throw a spear, can't I?
I think attacks of opportunity are melee only.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No raged.
Oh, yeah.
That's 23 with the bless.
I don't like that look on your face, Clea.
Well, so I had rolled what had looked like an 18 is the higher number, but it was cocked, so I rolled again. But it was a 1. So.
Nanette. what happens?
I stab him. Do you want more details?
It's up to you, but this is the.
It's super
this is
cool.
The, this
Is this
the
the
blow.
how do you do this quote, or is this just
This is
how do you
how
make the attack?
you have downed them to 0.
Oh, okay. Nanette, as he's running by, like, her left hand kind of leaves the Yikawa and, like, grabs that black pauldron with her nails, like, digging in as she plunges the Yikawa through his back right at, like, the mid-vertebrae. And just kind of drives him to the ground and then kind of, like, gives it a cruel little twist at the end. Like, pulls it out.
Ooh. They collapse and we are out of combat. They are bleeding out. Oh, yeah, by the way, there's blood everywhere in this water.
I
Really
really
good,
hope
like-
there are no sharks.
We'll find out soon enough.
Yeah.
Are you just...
I'm gonna coup de grace this guy while he's bleeding out.
Okay.
Unless anyone stops Nanette.
I think
I think-
Nazi's gonna try to pull one of the arms off of the Warforged. Just
See if it's edible?
Yeah.
no, he's a scavenger. It's
Fair,
he-
yeah.
Yeah, he can
Pull
turn
the
stuff
road.
into weapons too. I mean, this is not all of his enemies are normally made of metal. This is perfect opportunity.
We will... As these 2 downed scavengers are down, slowly the merfolk come out and, like, converge on you and, like, kind of... They don't really shake hands, but they're like, oh, thank you, very mean, rude, waved their weapons at us. But there was a big language barrier, so they didn't really understand what they want. They were just very, very scary. You find on Jekyll a brooch of shielding, a ring of protection, some armor, which is all mismatched, and a cloak of the manta ray.
Ooh.
I really tried not to be hit. It is.
And then, I'm assuming you're looking over these bodies, and the day, it eventually will get dark. What are you doing as we slowly come to a close?
Go out of the water.
We definitely can't stay under this water for much longer.
If it's only getting dark, we've only been down like half.
You have plenty of time.
That's true. Oh, right. Okay. I can't math, so it's fine.
We'll have until the next morning at least.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But
Is there any sign of what spell he got off? Any repercussions that we can see, or is it just mystery spell?
which spell are you talking about?
Oh, you said as he was dashing off the first time that
Oh.
he...
You would recognize it. He casted Shield of Faith.
Oh, okay.
Yes. A protection spell.
So,
Not protective enough.
who would like what items, I guess?
Gosh, what do we have again? There was a
I know, I
ring of
wasn't
protection, what is it?
Manta ray, brooch,
Brooch of shielding.
brooch of something.
Brooch of shielding, ring of protection, and a cloak of the manta ray.
I know what a ring of protection does. What do the other two do?
Manta ray gives you a
Manta-
swim speed of 60 feet and a breathe underwater. The ring of protection gives you +1 to AC and saves.
And the brooch?
You are protected from magic missile.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
And resistance to force
And
damage.
resistance to force damage.
Oh, handy.
I also have an arm. I found
If it's
this.
all right, can I have the ring?
I'll step back from this one since I took the bowl earlier. I don't want to be too greedy.
I forgot you have the bowl. I'm sure that will be
Wonderful.
completely fine for you.
That'll be a lovely piece of artifact from the plane of water for the university.
Clea, what would you like?
I mean, I always did want to swim.
I think that's perfect for you then.
I'm finding it to be quite fun down here, and maybe then I can visit the mer friends again. Merfolk? Merfolk?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got it. They did seem to be pretty interested in you.
And then I would love the brooch that I just forgot the details of, but sounded nice.
We can go back. We can go over that in callouts.
Yes.
Cool.
Is there anything else you'd like to do as we wrap up, either with university, with each other?
I think the only thing that Nasi is going to do is as they exit the water, he will. I might as well do this at some point in the game. He will use his decanter of endless water and geyser them out.
You see these two bodies get like catapulted out of this water and far into the desert. Good.
I never got to use it. Got this cool item.
You used it every day. It was just off camera.
That's right.
Yep.
And the only other thing, he's going to keep most of the Warforged arm and the what he didn't eat of the tentacle and give those to the university. And then he will take a piece of like the forearm of the Warforged, and over their trip back, he'll use his cutting artisan, which is a lizard folk thing, and he will craft a dagger out of it and give it to Clea as a trophy of her kill.
Aww. That's so cute.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you.
It's always important to remember the things that you kill. And now you can kill other things with it. It's circle of life.
I can.
Oddly poetic.
That's
In the language of
Bring
my
to us.
people, non-cinquenia mabibit simba.
Bumblebee tuna to you two as well.
It actually translates to, hey, there's a lion over there.
Oh, I take a look.
Clea.
Wow. I mean, in my tribe, we always celebrate when we accomplish something with a big party. We could do that here underwater, or maybe when we get back to the university. Either way is fine.
I would love that.
Have
This is delightful.
a Return of the Jedi Endor scene, just instead of Ewoks, it's all merfolk.
Yes.
Dun,
I ship
dun,
it.
dun, dun, dun.
So party when you get back, Nanette.
Oh boy. Nanette, I guess will take maybe like that black pauldron piece,
Okay.
maybe, as a memento. I think she's already forgotten his name in character.
That's fair. He was an asshole.
And oh yeah. But yeah, she'll just go along with what everyone else does. Her goal is not to get kicked out, and I think she accomplished that.
Antonia.
Antonia wants no pieces of the bodies because
Ew.
still coming to grips with all of that. She will try and sketch out as best she can remember everything she saw for the university when she gets back there and has proper supplies and all that. And we'll give them the different sands that she collected and
Okay.
whatnot. Someone might want that.
They would.
And she would very much like to make sure that the horses are all taken care of.
Good.
And she would like to just make sure that Imra is aware of how helpful everyone else was.
Good.
Nanette and Nasi, and I mean Nanette specifically because apparently there's a history there, but yeah, that everyone was.
And Tylon.
So in addition to the bowl, I want to take whatever little bit of time we have left under here to grab whatever looks interesting, including any kind of anything that sets off kind of an archaeological interest. If there's any other kind of pottery or errant like household items like that. Additionally, I would like to try and take one of the skulls from the bones that we found of the merfolk.
I would say if you wanted to slip one into your bag when you were trapped, you can do so.
Okay.
because they would not have seen you.
Yeah.
And with that, we will go to a close. Thank you so much. This was amazing. Thank you, everybody. And we'll go to sign off.